Now it's time to go to Phil Gould for the last word.
Welcome to State of Origin, Game 2, the spiritual home of Australian sport, the mighty MCG in Melbourne. And somehow, some way, Queensland are down 1-0 in the series again. Now, I've heard all week about the referees, Ashley Klein, the bunker, the send-off, the conspiracy theories. Kalen Ponga accidentally collecting a bloke and getting marched like he'd committed armed robbery at Southern Cross Station. Was it harsh? Probably. Did Queensland get dud? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care. For 46 years, New South Wales fans have sat through Barry Gomersall performances, where if a Blues player got punched in the face, he'd be penalised for bleeding on a maroon fist. If Queensland dropped the ball, somehow New South Wales were offside. If the Blues scored a try, they'd go back 3 tackles looking for a forward pass from 1987. So forgive us if the violin budget's running a little low south of the Tweed. Besides, this game wasn't won on whistles, it was won on moments. Nathan Cleary launching a 40-20 under pressure. Stephen Crichton, apparently out of form, slicing through the line when it mattered. Young Ethan Strange saving tries on the line like a bloke trying to stop rent going up. And James Tedesco first butchering a try he normally scores himself before popping up later to score the winner anyway. And what about Laurie Daly? 60 seconds away from half the state, wanting him replaced by a talking Labradoodle. Now he's 1 win from an Origin Series victory. That's rugby league. 1 minute they're calling for your retirement, the next minute they're building the statue. That's Origin. 1 minute you're a mug, the next minute you're a genius. Enjoy your Origin footy. Go New South Wales.
G'day, Doggies fans, All Things Bulldogs. Welcome to everybody. There was Gus with his final word before Game 2. He's obviously happy about New South Wales leading Game 1. I've had some technical issues and it's put out 4 streams. It looks like a couple of people are on another one which actually isn't playing at the moment, which is not good. So I'm trying to get on there and message people to head over to the other ones that are working, like this one. Say hello if you're there now, guys. How are you, Gas? What's happening?
All good, mate. Footy's back. The Dogs are back. Team list Tuesday. It's the downhill slide now to the back end of the season. So this is where we show if we've learnt anything from the first half of the year and can make something happen for the back end of the year. So I'll be out there on Saturday. Absolutely looking forward to it. So exciting stuff. Not sure who else is coming, but 7:30 on a Saturday night. Perfect time, guys. Plenty of time to sleep over the celebration afterwards too for the next day.
Yeah, so I'm just a bit preoccupied because there's shit happening with the stream. But welcome to everyone who's on there.
G'day, Lucas. Welcome.
Go through it, buddy, for me. While I'm
G'day, Brian. How you going, mate? Sayed, Ajmal, how you going, mate? G'day, guys. Keen for the game this Saturday. Going to be a tough one, but this is a must-win for us to keep our top 8 goal alive. Hopefully, we see a Panthers game-type performance. Yes, mate. Hopefully, we bring out that against a big team. You know, we've actually done all right against some of the big teams this year, so hopefully we can roll that out. You know, Manly's just waiting to be beaten, guys. That's what I think. Can't wait for the game this weekend. Yeah, Lucas. How you going, mate? Well done. G'day, Zreg. Hard work. Hard week with no Dogs games. Yeah, it's a long... I think we had the Ron Massey. That was it, pretty much. Be good to see the boys put Manly to the sword. Yes. G'day, young fella. How you going, mate? Good to see you on here watching your dad, mate. And Michael. Sorry, don't forget Michael. G'day, Timmy. Finished your Bible study already, buddy? All Things Positive Bulldogs podcast. Yeah, mate. You know it, buddy.
Hey, Timmy. G'day, Aki. G'day, Ryan.
Good,
g'day,
mate.
Lucas.
All going good.
G'day, Sayed. G'day, Brian. And g'day, everyone who's watching so far. Don't know. I'm trying to get Tony. Tony's on. We've got like 4 streams somehow happening. One there's a couple that aren't working, and I think there's people in there waiting. Trying to let them know to come out of there and join this one. Oh, here he is.
They can't be
He's
removed.
in there.
Can't be removed somehow. Can't be removed somehow.
Oh, I'm trying to delete it. It's not letting me. So it's
Yeah, okay.
I'm having good
Fair
fun
enough.
with it. Yeah. But Tony's here, so is Mike. So it looks like everything's sorting itself out, which is good. We're going to get into it
Old
shortly,
fella Dave
guys.
as well. Okay, mate. Here you go. He left the other one. Thanks.
Thank you so much there, Tony. Sorry about that. And g'day to you, Dave, as well.
Thanks for your
thank
support,
you so
Brian,
much,
again.
Brian. Much appreciated, mate. Got a couple of we'll have some merch packs going out to the cartel members, James and also Shawnee.
Cartel, love it.
The cartel, the Dogfather cartel. We've got our made men, the Godfather's made men. Did we see the Godfather scoring that beautiful try? Reminded me of the one Mark knowing what the last he got against us. The little chip. He's been
Marky
practicing
Mark,
in the backyard, Gould. He's going to fix our attack.
Yeah.
Well, Critter play. What are we hearing? Well, he's around training. He's wearing the. I've seen photos of him in the shirts and stuff, but I think he'll be playing. That's for sure. I think they just put the club first. They had a rest, which is what they needed to do. They had to get the win. They had to be available for selection because you have to be, apparently. And I remember Steve Mortimer got fined once because he said he wasn't going to, or he got suspended for a match or something because he didn't make himself available to play for New South Wales or Australia back in the day. So that was an actual thing. Back next week. All right, no worries, Timmy. And there's Maddie Warren. And welcome to the family. And thank you to everyone who's been. We've got the chat group there. So if you're on Facebook, we've got a chat group there. I might start something on Instagram as well for those who have got all where I can just, it's a good place for you to chat, and it's a nice positive place as well. Not a place to lose your mind in. But it's better to lose your mind in a chat group than it is publicly on the record for everyone to see. So that's I will say it's a safer place to give an emotional opinion under duress. Did we hear Robbo's pissed off with the doggies? Yeah, big shout out to the Socceroos too. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Mate.
The Robbo, go to. Look, I read that story and went, it's not even a story. Like really,
we're the biggest victims of this problem in the last 5 years. We're the biggest victims of this problem with Birdo. Like, where are they going with this? Seriously, it's a non-story. Like, it's just trying to deflect off them. Losing by a
played anyway.
Didn't they lose 48-10? So they're just trying to deflect the story. Like Marky Mark was going to make a difference.
But our players played. What's it got to do with it? They played. They could have been selected. One was selected, then he stood down. I don't get
it. Pulled out, and he's playing. Apparently, that's what he's saying. But hello, there's a reason why he pulled out, because he can't train, and if you can't train, you can't play. Easy.
He's not
you can't train
Origin.
For the Bulldogs. That's what I'm saying. He can't train. He doesn't have to train for the Bulldogs, but we'll still let him play if he's ready.
But Mark's
going to can't do that at Orange.
Mark's going to. But Mark, what? So Robbo's angry that his player gets to play Origin, and our players don't.
No, he's happy for him, but it's a shame that he couldn't play for the Roosters, then go play Origin. Then it wouldn't have been 48-10. It would have been 54-10.
All right. Yeah,
So yeah, shall we? How long till we give Preston the 750, 800 he deserves. Guys, it's a very, very simple negotiation process. It happens every club, every player, every team, all the time. I wouldn't look any more into this. Let them go and do whatever they're going to do. It's going to take care of itself in the background, guys. Club know what they're doing. His manager knows what he's doing. Everyone knows what they're doing. Let it take care of itself, guys. Don't read into all this other crap. Just let it happen. If it's meant to be, it will. The Roosters' record against top 8 sides is not really good lately. Just looking for excuse to or whinge. Yep.
Yep, that's it. It's 100% it. So I've got to share this around Facebook and stuff, guys. I'm a bit behind the 8 ball.
It's all right, guys.
Might share this version. Oh, subscribe to the Dogfather on Facebook. You can subscribe on Facebook now.
Timmy, you're right, mate. The soccer on Sunday, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, was awesome. I'm sure we all would have celebrated long and hard when we scored those goals on Sunday. That was outstanding. It's a shame we just have to wait for every 4 years to properly watch the Aussie team, most of us, but it was worth watching. Actually, the whole tournament's been good so far. Been enjoying it.
A lot of upsets.
Yeah, that's good. So, guys, it just shows not to gamble, guys, because there was a guy that apparently bet $1 million on Spain winning just to win 85,000 and lost his $1 million. Now, I'm sure if you can bet $1 million,
someone else won 6 million with them drawing.
From someone spent 400,000 betting on them not to lose, a win or a draw, and picked up 4 million. But yeah, anyway, just keep your money, guys. Supporters will burn down Belmore if Presto is let go. Well, guys, that's not going to be just up to us, guys. It's going to be up to Presto as well. So we can offer him whatever we can, and he needs to want to stay as well, guys. It needs to go both ways. Because don't forget, there's going to be teams out there potentially offering a lot of money. And like Michael said in his article, guys, wrote a very, very good article if you want to go on and read it. It's a very, very aggressive cycle at the moment to sign players. There's a lot of teams that are filling their top 30 and a lot of challenging, new teams and tax-free money and all sorts of things. So, there's a salary cap that's about to be changed. There's all sorts of stuff going on, guys. So, yeah, he's definitely a priority for us. And, we're going to do whatever we can to keep him because you build a team around someone like that. But just let it take its course, guys. It's still a long way from November 1. He's still off the market. No one else can talk to him. Just trust the team to get it sorted in their own time, guys.
Sorry, guys. Won't be long.
I think we might lose Preston, Carraz and Burton. They will get silly money elsewhere. Carraz will get $1 million a year to play for PNG. Again, guys, going to be up to the players. Like some of them were offered bigger money elsewhere previously and signed with the Dogs. They need to believe in what they're doing. To be honest with you, they've achieved nothing yet at the club. So the goal is, you win a premiership, you do something together, then you can go off and take the money and build a team up from the ground up. At the moment, they've achieved nothing, guys. So,
Exactly.
You see all these Panther players that have all left and Laws, and those guys have got 2, 3, 4 premierships under their belt. Then they've gone and done what they've done. So, yeah, Brian talks of stalled. Translate exactly, mate. Negotiation. So, yeah, nothing ever happens on the first crack. Nothing ever happens on the first crack, mate.
Where talks of stalled, translation, they're in negotiation. That's it, and that's what I said on the thing, guys. It's all about, the idea of that article was to write an article where there's no outrage and no one's at fault. And this is where we need to tone it down. We just got to tone it down.
To give you an example, Michael, do you want to tell everyone, if you want to, who joined your page after you wrote that article?
Rushton. So the guy who Preston's manager joined Dogfather Media.
There you go, guys.
I don't know how long he'll stay there. Sometimes they do that. You'll see these big names, or they'll come into your group. They'll have a look around at what's being said so they can see access because they're private groups. see what people are saying, get the feel of things, and then they leave. But he definitely joined. I think he's still in it last time I looked. So, but there's definitely an appreciation for like managers are aligned with player agents. Sorry, player agents are aligned with the journos because clubs aren't. So that's and they bounce off each other. Whereas Danny Weidler's obviously aligned with Gus and Channel 9. Moley wants to be. But tried to throw Gus under the bus and ended up somehow, being dragged along the back of it with Gus driving it.
It became the bus.
I think Moley's words were Gus is a piece of shit. After saying Moley coming out and saying Burton was off to the Bears and his cousin from the Roosters was going to go with him. And he swears on his life that that's a true story. I don't believe it is. I think he was told by someone who said it's good mail, and the mail isn't that good. That's what I believe. Anyway.
Okay, Shoei's saying that that 400,000 was Ashley Klein. And while we're on that, guys, he had a problem, guys. He put his hand up, got help, lost a lot of money having that problem. And, he had a, fix with the horses and greyhounds, etc. And, obviously it was always, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and the NRL was aware of it and involved, and they helped him get out of that problem. And now he's come out and spoken about it all these years later. So it's easily understandable for people to assume something else, which is fair enough. It's just everyone wanting to play, jigsaw, put 1 and 2 together and off they go. That piece fits in there. But I'm sure what wasn't something that was easy for him to deal with. Nobody likes to, have a, problem that they have to deal with and lose all that money. Good luck to him. Hopefully he's all sorted on that side and got the help he needed. But we're all human, guys. I'm sure every one of us has a problem in our life that we wish we could take care of. None of us are perfect. So hopefully he has got himself sorted and can move on in his life. Yeah, Timmy, we're going to have to be up nice and early to watch Australia beat the USA on Saturday. Will be a big day on Saturday, starting off Australia and then rounding it out with the apple pie, guys, with the Bulldogs beating Manly, just like we did in '95. That would be awesome. G'day, JP. Evening, brothers. Hoping Preston stays, but is there any updates about Birdo and Mann re-signing them? Negotiations, guys. Negotiations.
I'll talk to it in a second. Let's go.
With Preston negotiation, I read Mick's article he put up on the 12th of June, explains the process and the dramas that the media portray.
That's right.
That's right.
And look, that's the job of Rushton. Is he knows that's going to happen. It's all about maximising what they can get. Now, the media have come out and said, like, this is what I mean. This is the same media that are saying Clayton Fowler was going to be potentially dropped today for Trebojevic. Like, he did his hamstring on the weekend or the week before. So he's out, injured, which is why he wasn't going to be named. I'm sure he would have been playing on the bench or something potentially. But anyway, this same media coming out and said that he had he's asking for $750 and the Bulldogs have balked at that. Like, that's absolute bullshit. That's I also did another article about Jamin the week gutter dog salmon. And the reason I mentioned Preston in that is because stupid people are saying that we're going to lose Preston because we extended Salmon. Salmon and Preston are off contract at the exact same time. So they're not free agents.
Signed last year. Salmon was signed last year.
Yeah.
Not this year. People were saying that it was done this year. It wasn't done this year. It was done last year.
Now, look, I can give credence to the kick-out thing, right? I really can. And what I wrote in the Preston article about kick-out is that he there is that link with the academies and Fiji, and there's thousands of kids wearing Bulldogs jerseys in that country now. Okay, so that's, if people don't understand the significance of that, I can't help them. When you're looking at, probably from a rugby league point of view, they've got the physique, the DNA to be 80-minute footballers who can do a lot on the field. Now, that's an investment not only for the Bulldogs, but actually in Fiji and World Rugby League. And this is what we want long term, is the world game to grow. Some things are bigger than your team, and it's about the club, right? Now, Kickout and Preston will only cross paths on one season as far as their contracts are concerned. And I can see Viliami being utilised in different ways as well. I think we've all sort of tinkered with that as an option. And I'm sure that's potential down the track as well. So the other thing is people saying that Tracy's been... So I'm like, guys, to take the heat out of it, just go through the people that are signed for 2028, who are already signed, and the people that are off contract 2027. And then you look at the upgrades in between. See what people do is they just, it's called catastrophizing. Or it's like when people say we're going to get absolutely destroyed this week by a team, because they want to protect themselves. They want to protect their ego they want to prepare themselves for the inevitable so that they're not as hurt by it. Show a bit of faith. Show a bit of faith in the people that brought these guys out of absolute obscurity into this club. Like, who's Jacob Carraz? Who's Jacob Preston? I sat there and I said, Jacob Preston's not going ahead of Jackson Torpenay. He's not going ahead of Raymond for Tyler Mariner. He's not going ahead of all these players. Well, how fucking wrong was I? Because part of me from the outside look, and not having any insight at that point, was from the inside, other than just through knowledge and playing team sport and coaching myself. I just thought there's some sort of loyalty there, and you got to work your way in. No, he went there and outperformed people and outworked people straight away and was rewarded straight away. And I fucking love that. I love that he didn't have to prove himself over weeks and months. But see, the people can't cop the person who makes that decision to bring Preston in as a fucking rookie, who's never as an actual debutant, to start round one, and then to star in round two against the Storm when we win our first game in years away from home, right? And then break the hoodoo at Belmore. Going, this is 2023, right? Those same people who saw our coach do that and bank on someone, suddenly not be able to apply the same rule to a Lachlan Galvin coming into the club, and so who'd had already 37 NRL matches, and to actually give him the start pretty much straight away, like that. It's like, if you can see, our coach knows what they're doing when they're putting people into the team. They're not putting anyone into the side. They're putting people in that can handle it. And that's why they don't, if they're not named in the team and they're still playing reserve grade, it's because they're not ready. or the people in front of them are doing better. It's as simple as that. So we've got to show a bit more faith, I think. And Presto wants to be a Bulldog. Birdo wants to be a Bulldog. Well, if Birdo keeps pushing from that 50 to 60 possession mark per game, you will find he will have more of an influence on the match. That means that Galvin will probably have a little bit less. Maybe Carraz has a few more touches. Critter has a few more touches, the game's sort of moving away from that ball playing lock. Like, I'm even watching Isaiah. Like, someone sits there and go, all the people are saying Salmon's not trying to be. They hear someone say it on 360 that he's trying to be Isaiah Yeo. And he's only got 2 try assists this year. And I'm like, well, Isaiah Yeo's only got 2 try assists this year as well. Isaiah Yeo's actually passing the ball a little bit less as well too. Like as Talangi's getting more involved and Nathan's getting even better at what he does and is having his best season, as Gas pointed out last week. He's starting to come into where it's just everything's slowed down to a walk for him. Like you can just see things like an absolute animal out there. Like he's hunting everything. He knows what he's doing. Him and Talangi are now combining more, and Yo's not creating as much space. He's actually taking the hit up. And Yo's doing the exact same thing. It's like, okay, we can play shape out to the right but when the opposition are in the face, he straightens it up, hits his front, quick play the ball, and who takes the next hit? Usually fucking Dylan Edwards, and then it's the kick from Cleary. But if they see something going on, he plays it out to the halves. The problem every time I hear Salmon get booed, I'm looking over and I'm like, well, the opposition are already sitting on the edges anyway. Like if he passes it out there, we're just going to make a mistake. I don't know. Like he's not the best player, and that's why he's only on $300 and something thousand. Okay, and if we get a better one, I don't care who wears the jersey for us. But all I know is that the one wearing it is there because there's really not much of an argument about who's going to be a better option. That's all there is. So lots of articles this week and got a lot of attention actually, which had to delete quite a few people. Not for having an opinion, just for the way they had their opinion and protect the parents and all that sort of stuff as much as I can.
Speaking of parents, g'day Elaine.
Oh, welcome Elaine. Good to see you. And I didn't know that CJ was playing Ron Massey on the weekend, and Tay played Ron Massey, had a really good game as well. CJ copped a few head highs actually. I was a bit worried about him, but again, breaking tackles, really hard to stop through the middle. I think he was playing small lock. He got a few injuries, but another big win for Ron Massey.
Storming up that table, guys.
One win off first place and have the best percentage.
Yep.
This is a team that never won more than 3 games in a season since they came back into the Ron Massey Cup, the Bulldogs.
Depth, guys, depth.
So, guys, make sure you like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. We've got the spin the wheel again today. So we've already got people who have their ticket in the draw from the last episode as well. So, and Brian's put some more in today. So we're getting close to $100. Purchased a fair few things recently that we'll be looking to get potential signatures for that we can give back. So I've reinvested the money into little giveaways. We can give you little mementos. So
Timmy's talking about not Nick Kotrick returning to NRL.
Oh wow! Coming to the Bulldogs for $650 as a centre, or was it $800?
Well, he did start the other guys anyway, so I'd hate to lose Presto. So Tilly has proven he's a worthwhile replacement, though.
I guess, look, I don't think any of us can imagine losing Jacob Preston. It's one of the most gut-wrenching things. I can understand people being emotional about it too. Like I feel sorry for people because they're scared about this. But that's what the media wants. And I think what'll help, look, anyone who's watched NRL 360 and watched the coverage of the Canberra Parramatta game will know that they don't even hide it anymore. And I've said this for a while. Kevin Walters on the Monday watching the Bulldogs versus Parramatta was part of one of the biggest beat-ups I've ever seen. Now, I can get the way we reacted to it and certain fans reacted to it even. I get it because we couldn't score. We were dominating the game and our passing was terrible. I get that. And the NRL 360 then spent an hour kicking us in the guts for winning the game, essentially. But when I watch Canberra, who are minor premiers, who had a better forward pack than us, who probably got a better spine, who let their halfback go, who's now doing really well for the Manly Sea Eagles, and replaced them with a rookie, who also let Trey Mooney go to keep someone who's played for 15 years or whatever, for another season, who's not playing much this year either because they're having a few injuries and whatever else, which is expected. One of the greatest forwards in the game seen in Josh Papali'i. The problem is they sat there for when Parramatta won. Parramatta held them to 0 in that first 40 minutes. Canberra had 32 possessions in the Parramatta 20-metre zone, more than the Bulldogs. Now, Yvonne did say that is the story of the first half at halftime, but then they didn't elaborate on it too much. And then at full time, Parramatta got, I think, 5 player interviews with Fox. There was no NRL 360, obviously, but they then they spent less than 6 minutes talking about the Raiders losing. Glazing Parramatta, obviously, who only lost by 6 points to the Knights, who had a star-packed side on the field that day, who only lost it by 2 points against the Dogs. Barely spoke about Parramatta's how good they were to only lose by 2 points, by the way. And then don't criticise the Raiders. What did Kevy say about the Raiders? They would have won that game last year. They're just a tiny bit off where they were. And then Yvonne goes, oh, well, they do have a really young and experienced half, and he's done a great job. But obviously it'd be hard, being new. And I'm like, okay. And Hudson Young wasn't playing, and Ethan Strange wasn't playing. Oh, okay, 2 players missing. Okay. So what else excuses are they going to get? This is the bullshit. And the reason I have an issue with it, like I know that Canterbury are the big club. Canterbury do get talked about. It is because we've got Gus Gould at our club, and there's that, and that's why it follows us, and there's so many more clicks. I know when I did a Zero Tackle article, the top 5 players to improve for Canterbury versus the top 5 players to improve for the Raiders. The Raiders article got about 3,000 views on it. The Bulldogs one got like 30,000. Actually, the Raiders got about 7 or 8, but Storm only got about 3,000, and most of some of the other teams like Souths and all that got like 40,000 and whatever else. Warriors, heaps and heaps of views. The point I'm trying to make is that I understand all that, but there's a big issue. One of the reasons that players don't want to come to Canterbury is the focus. It's the focus that are on these guys. It brings extra pressure. Of course it does. And then when you get a fan base that's fucking rancid when they start to lose a couple of games and starts tearing down their best mates on the field. Like, I can get it. Go to a game and tell them to pull their finger out their butt. No problem. But to go on the public record and start harassing people and harassing media managers like Darcy and that, and saying horrible things about them, and like we just got to tone it down. And the reason I go at some of the other podcasters, guys, is because they flame that stuff for their own financial benefit. I got that Brad, what's his name? Brad Cambridge goes on the Kennel and talks about us all the time and how I hate them and stuff. He was a paying subscriber. He was the first one. I kicked him off my channel while he was a paying subscriber. So I don't care about that stuff. It helps and I love it. And it's a payback for all the years of doing it. It's great. It's helping us, and we get to give back, and we've got a great community of mates now that are just some of the most kindest, great people I've ever got to experience. Like Gas himself, Joby and Rhett and Andy and Brian and Bulldog Mike Bulldog Mike, you're not a nice player. On Twitter, you're not. Poor Anthony Albanese. He has
Elaine
nightmares
and
about Bulldogs, Mike.
Timmy Gray and Elaine and everything
Oh,
else. Yeah.
oh, don't worry about Timmy Gray. Don't worry about him. But even Paulie, who's been there for 4 or 5 years, putting on comments that I've disagreed with, he's disagreed with, but he's still there. There's another bloke, Ryan, who never really says anything live, but he's always comments every single week. Whole bunch of blokes, and we've got Scary here as well. Thank you, mate. And Gas hasn't sent the flag, but it is coming. He's just got to get down to Sydney again. He's been a busy boy.
It's in the car, mate. It's ready to go. I've already got it locked and loaded. Player number 830 there signed, ready to go, mate.
And I've got a bunch of merch coming, and I've actually got something else for you as well. I just got to get some sizes from you, a couple of you guys, for some stuff I've ordered, which Gas is also picking up for me. Let's get to people. Thank you, Shawnee. Good to see you, mate, and thank you for the contribution. Sorry, I said a lot then, peeps.
Brian, managers want journalists to stir crap to make the teams panic, to throw more money at their players.
That's it. And it's never, with 60 new roster positions, guys, it's never been better for player managers than it is right now. And for some clubs, that's also going to mean, like, for example, they're going to lose a big name, right? And they might have $1 million for someone, and they're going to leave for 1.3 potentially. And it could be a team on the really good player. All of a sudden, that club's got $1 million to buy a really good player from us, if that makes sense. That might be the next rung down, but they need that player. It's like the Reid Marnie thing. You know, someone said the other day, if I don't believe that clubs are talking breaching the rules before the time I've got rocks in my head or something, I said, oh, of course they are.
Yep.
Do you think Reid Marnie, Sam Ayub, who's Gus's mate, as we've always said, the two biggest clubs he has representation are with, guess which two clubs? Cowboys and Bulldogs. Yeah. So for people to think that they weren't aware of how big the opportunity was to go to the Cowboys, and it just become basically, well, show me the money. Like, who wants me the most? What do you value? And the Bulldogs basically said, well, we value you, we love you, we want you. You know, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But yeah, we don't see you as an 80-minute player anymore. You know. And
keep moving, mate. Keep moving.
Let's keep going.
Funny how the Queensland journos broke that Ash Klein story, I'm guessing. The issue with Klein having a gambling issue isn't a good look, brings the game into question. Yeah, I'm sure they all dabble in stuff as long as it's not rugby league, so it's a personal choice. He isn't a punter. He can decide games. Look, every game is reviewed, guys. Everything is listened to. Everything is watched. You know, it's very hard these days from that perspective, guys, to if there's a trend, to get away with it. I think there's that much analysis on everything at the moment. He would be a very brave man if he was trying that, guys. Good to see Conti named. It's well-deserved for the way he's playing in the Cup. Probably end up being taken to New Zealand on Sunday, which I'm guessing they'll leave on Saturday. So, and that's the other thing I was going to raise, guys. All those games that we've got this week, both of our teams are playing in New Zealand, the Jersey Flag and the New South Wales Cup. So the decision that we make on our team is going to be done well before the 24 hours, guys, because we need to send those guys overseas and we need to leave the ones we need to leave. So there will be some tough decisions this week. G'day, Sam. Carray's back at fullback, Tracy to wing. Yeah, interesting one again, but let's see. Tracy did win his last game at fullback, though, and Carray's did lose his last game at fullback. Perth Bears is Preston's junior team. He said he would love to play for them. Yeah, look, that's going to get pushed around a lot, guys. I went, I think it was 2023, I went to a North Sydney Bears function at North Sydney Leagues Club. Wayne Bennett was the guest speaker. I was sitting there next to the Bulldogs table, and Jacob Preston was there. And yeah, all the guys that were coming out there to support that, and he still has that in him there, guys. But he was at the Bulldogs, and he still is, and you know, let that play out, as we said. Elaine, yeah, he's named in the flag this week, so hopefully he goes to New Zealand. Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed.
That'd be a great experience.
Yep.
If you haven't been there before.
Mm-hmm. Salmon will be up against Big Hamoli. That's a big test. I have a feeling that Cohen will take that edge, though, and Salmon back to lock. I still think there's a good chance of that, mate. I think you might be onto something there, buddy. The problem with the experts is they are quick to say everyone is wrong, but never put their hand up when it's them.
That's right. And that's the thing with these podcasters and that.
Is that like Michael Ennis? Is that like Michael Ennis as well?
Actually, they sit there and say all this crap, but then because they're fan casters and then because they're actual fans, they say all this crap, and then as soon as things change, they go, "Oh, sorry, I was wrong," as if it didn't matter, you know.
And look, and there's a lot of ways to look at it, guys. I mean, I read something earlier today. Everyone's talking about we're fans, we pay our money, we're entitled to our opinions. Yeah, no one's saying that you're not entitled to. You make your opinions to state, but there's a way that you do it, guys.
That's
and
it.
While we're talking about that, guys, I want to say something as well that came out on the weekend from the Bulldogs. There have been some extremely disturbing things that happened to some of our female staff members, which is
that I just mentioned earlier.
Completely irresponsible. Absolutely no go, guys. Both the young ladies in question, absolutely no go, guys. Very, very, very disturbing, and just irrespective of whether we've spoken about it before, guys, or not. And we'll continue to do so. There's absolutely no place for it. I'm glad that whoever it is very well known. And I really hope that the Bulldogs and NRL and whoever else do absolutely everything in their power to make that an example for others not to do, guys. There's just no place for that, guys. I understand that we're all there. We're all frustrated with the games. You know, we all have our ways of burning our problems and think that, you know, we play bad, we lose, whatever. But, guys, there's a way to take it, and that's not the way to do it, guys. That's not the way to do it. You know, but that's not the way to do it. Timmy, good on CJ. We love him and Tay. Good to see you, Elaine. Yes. Thanks. There you go. There's your support.
Much love,
Timmy.
Elaine.
That's it. Scary Simon Late, hoping everyone is doing well. Yes, thank you, brother. There you go. Right. Okay, what do we got here, Matty? Massive game in the lower grades against New Zealand and the Warriors in New Zealand. All the teams on the table near us have easier games. We could drop from 6th to 9th in Reggie's and 3rd to 5th in Flag if we lose. There you go, guys. Yeah. So,
big games, but
not the biggest focus for the Bulldogs, guys. Obviously, first grade is priority. So, if you've looked at this year's teams that we've been naming in all these cups and everything, it's all about building minutes and all these things that they want to prepare for first grade. Yeah. At the end of the day, the results are, they're good if they win, but ultimately it's all about them preparing what they want for the first grade team. That's the bottom line. So
they want consistency, and consistency isn't about results. It's about in application and what they do. And that's the hardest thing to get. And when they're not being, and they haven't been that consistent, so they're actually performing quite well. So, you know, the thing though, Matty, what happens though is that, you know, if the Bulldogs lose first grade and then we lose those junior games, and then people go and look at the ladder, then they go, oh, the junior, the pathways aren't going real well, are they? You know, 2 weeks later, the teams are back in the top 5, back in the top 3, and suddenly the pathways are doing well. You know. The pathways are going very well. The fact that we've got, you know, last week against the Eels in New South Wales Cup, Gordon Chan Kum Tong was the most experienced first grader in that team with 14 NRL matches is a huge change. And I talked about this a bit earlier in the year. But the fact that that grade is full of players that have hardly played NRL or not played NRL is such a big deal as far as where we're going to and where we want to be. If you've got a reserve grade side that's they average 1 or 2 NRL games because that's all they get, and that's during Origin or during the last round when they're resting your good players because your team's in finals every year. That's when it's getting to where you want it to be. So it's getting closer. There was something else I wanted to suggest because there's some good stuff people were saying here that I saw earlier. Have you gone through everyone's stuff?
No, man, I'm still working through, mate.
No. Before where we were up to.
Yeah. Everything's been gone through before. Yeah.
I see you're up to Sayed. God, I don't know where we're up to, mate. Because sometimes I see things come down, but you might be somewhere else. So I'm like, that's caught my attention. I want to talk about that. So there we're at. 2 Sharks versus Waz was 1 try piece with 2-point field goal to the side. At media hypocrisy and our fans like a critical thinking is crazy. There you get to. All right, some good stuff's coming up. All right, let's get back to
scary. Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah.
Let's go.
Teddy, I've been crusading this very thing on Facebook lately. Sanders gets next to no criticism the same level as Govan does in the media, and it's putrid and spews agenda. Govan's been 10 times a better halfback.
Yeah, well, look, I won't criticise Sanders either, but look, part of me goes, the way they're talking about the Raiders is fair. That's how they should be talking about us, is the way I see it. I find that their commentary on the Raiders is almost journalism. It's almost valid, two-way feedback. The way they speak about us is rancid and disgusting and needs to stop. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's ridiculous.
I think they're scared of Ricky Stewart, mate. They don't want him to cry.
That's it.
Doesn't take much for him to cry. He's a pretty emotional guy.
But good shout out, Teddy. Good shout.
Thanks, guys, for support there. How does it work with the Bears starting next year? The PNG does that up the cap for all the other clubs?
Well, the cap's going up, they reckon, I think, in 2028. It'll be at
I think
minimum 14.
With the new money deal? Is that with the new money deal?
Hey?
Is that with the new TV rights deal? Is that
probably, yeah.
It's going to coincide with that?
Yeah. Yep.
The new $1 billion deal? Brian, I'm guessing he's as a new YouTuber. I'm guessing he's bumped up to a new level there, maybe, mate. You can probably check that. Thanks, Brian. I reckon Latrell Fing would dominate first grade right now, possibly.
Tommy, I think you're a legend. But Latrell Fing wouldn't dominate first grade right now at all. But I'll tell you what, he's a great player, and I think he's doing pretty well to keep Raymond Peru out of the fullback role.
Yep.
The fact Raymond's playing on the wing is telling you something pretty good about Latrell Fing. But the step up, like someone tried to. This is what I've been sort of told the equivalent. Playing New South Wales Cup for 70 minutes in the middle is the equivalent to starting in the NRL and playing 15 minutes. And even that 15 minutes is going to make you more fatigued to the point where you feel like you're going to die than playing 70 minutes straight in the New South Wales Cup. And that's not to say that there aren't moments in those matches where it's fatiguing and it's fast and whatever else, but it's a huge step up. So then you go from Flegg to New South Wales Cup, another jump That's why there's no shortcuts. You've got to develop these guys. Look, we're still getting people saying put Underhill, the fact that Salmon's in the team and Underhill's on the bench. What's that tell you about Serraldo? I'm like, what are you talking about? Maybe in maybe in a couple of years or another 12 months, I might be able to agree with that. Maybe. Underhill has gone from flag to bench cup to starting cup to bench first grade, and he's done that over about 3 years. And when he came in, he had an impact. But we're getting about 3 games in, that impact
wanes a bit sometimes.
That grind, that week in, week out. This injury's a new level. This is another level. This is, preparing to go to war for his debut. It's like, oh shit, I've got to go to war every week. I'm not saying he can't or he won't or he's not. It's just you hear from these kids when they talk about it. It's a big deal. Oh, they love it though. Like they're so happy about it.
Especially in that position, being in the hustle and bustle of all the big bodies guys. I mean, that's going to take its toll. And he's always been a player that plays with injury and keeps bouncing back up and coming hard. That's going to test you. That's going to test you really, really hard. So,
he broke himself just to get where he is. He's broken his body already.
He willed himself there, as Mel Gibson would say.
That's it.
Is Jacob Preston thinking of leaving? Just wondering.
Elaine answered that before. She said he was at the Manly game wearing his sandals in the rain. God, he's got some good fashion sense, Preston.
Yeah. Preston was at the Manly game. I think Preston, Harry Hayes, and Jonathan Sewer were the 3 Bulldogs players on their week off. Turned up, watched the guys play at Manly. Very good of them there. Met a few of the supporters, took some photos. It was really good, guys.
He said he was staying as far as he knows.
And guys, look, that's the thing, guys. Everyone's going to be speculating about the ball, and look, and it worked. They put one thing about negotiations have stalled, and all of a sudden, every single Bulldog fan page just lit up like a Christmas tree in June. Bang! It was just like talk going in 360 circles. Bang, 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 bang. Guys, just calm it down. Let it chill. Negotiations takes time. He's still here till the end of next year. It's still not even November 1, guys. It's just the start. And every player that's off contract then, some of them won't even have discussions starting yet, guys. Just let it be. Let it happen. Let it happen. Don't stress yourselves over something now that we cannot control. Gus and Serraldo, they're all working all their pieces, who they want, what they want, how they build around what's the cap potentially going to be in 2028? What's it look like now? Who do we need? Who's up and coming? How much can we afford? Who can we let go eventually? All these things, guys, there's so many factors. Like a Rubik's Cube, guys. You turn one, something else happens. Doesn't always, I know that there's magicians that can do it in 3 seconds, but it doesn't always work out that easy, guys. So many things you move and do and whatever until you get that piece where you want it. That's what they're doing right now, guys. Timmy's saying, hopefully we can win our first Saturday this week. Well, technically, in America, it was on a Saturday when we played in Vegas. Technically, Timmy, yes. I know we watched it on a Sunday, but let's hope that we can continue. We do have Adam G, guys. Adam G again. So we did win our last game with Adam G. So against the Raiders, funny enough. So hopefully that's a good sign. And we also won the last 2 games that he actually was the internal referee as well inside. So the official there. So
Adam G. He's the only he's actually a Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs referee. He's from our club. He's from our area.
No worries, mate. All good. Sorry to hear. Just heard you talking about it now. No problem, champion. What do you guys think about trying Cherry?
Cherry on the wing.
On the wing and Tuala at centre.
Well, look, I think Tuala's better at centre. I feel that he's got no hesitation in what he's doing there. And he's running his lines and he's creating opportunities every time he's played centre. I think Cherry's got a bit of work to do. Needs to find the winger. But as I say, I went through that Parramatta game and there was 3 times Birdo could have done a short grubber and Galvin. So 2 from Birdo, 1 from Galvin. Or if they kick him behind, the edge back rower or the centre would have scored a try because they were actually running. They were running hard at the time at the line. But every time they went to Cherry under pressure, no opportunity really to do anything. Didn't come through Salmon, didn't come through a ball playing lock, didn't come through Haywood or anyone. It just went the shift, half to half, taking it to the line. That's what's got to come back, guys. That's a big thing. So when we do our report card, which was might be a good time to start that, I went through the stats and I couldn't believe I purposely sort of stayed away from them. And I said, no, I need to go in and have a real good look because I'd looked religiously last year and the year before and the year before that, to be honest. And what I couldn't believe is, and I might get this up on the background while we start to talk about it, but what I couldn't believe in is that we've gone from the worst team committing the most ineffective tackles to actually having the least amount of ineffective tackles. Our attempted tackles are very similar. Our possessions down a percent, but we're still like top 5 for that. Field position's obviously good. Our tackle busts, we've gone from the worst team to being like top 8, like 8th. We've gone from a team that makes no post-contact meters either to being like the 8th best again, or 7th or 8th worst, something like that, right in the middle of. So from worst to middle is a big improvement. Our kick meters are down, but that's also got to do with a lot of the fact that our return kicking meters is up. So where we're dominating field position, we're dominating. Our line breaks are middle of the rung, not too far down considering where we are with scoring points. So it comes down to it. When our halves getting the ball in attacking zones, we've got nothing. We're not executing points. We're trying. So no team in the competition works harder to win 5 games and lose 8 games than the Bulldogs have. I'll tell you that right now. We don't get any applause for it. And when Serrata comes in a press conference, it's alarming the lack of intelligence of people to not be able to take from what he's actually saying. For him to sit there and say, there's lots of, even down, losing, I know it's hard to accept, I can understand it, but if you actually listen to the words and what he says, when you're down 30-0 at halftime in Magic Round or whatever it was, and he goes, there was actually a lot we did right that I liked in that first half. It takes balls to say that. It takes fucking balls to say that, right? And he wasn't lying because you go back through it. He's like, well, we were doing all these things we want to do. There was just these, individuals in 4 different moments who fucking fucked up and it cost us 4 points every single time. Yet people talk about, oh, I don't care as long as there's effort. Effort isn't about the scoreboard. Effort is about each moment that you're out there. Now you can switch off once and then do everything else right in the rest of the game. It doesn't make up for it because it ended up costing us the game. But doesn't mean your effort was bad. So this is what we're talking about. Tackle. They were saying Josh Adokar in 2023 was having a bad season because the Dogs were. His season was fantastic that year. Tackle busts. He'd never had as many tackle busts as he had for that year. He had more tackle busts than he'd ever fucking had. More effort stats. more tackles than he'd ever had to do. There was so much work he had to do that year. Now he doesn't get picked for 2023, and he was actually electric. And him and Burton started forming that combination with the kicks and everything like that. They pick him in 2024, and his form's actually not as good, which is New South Wales all over the shop. But to get to this, we've lost the ability to ask questions with our kicks. And because we're not doing that, it comes up in the stats. There's no deception there in what we're doing. And when we take away, now, the way we scored points last year was the exact same way. We have Burton on one side, Toby on the other. They just get the ball and pass it to players in better positions who are running hard at the line. They put a kick out. A little grubber and Curran would score. Little grubber and Satilli would score. Little grubber and kick out would score. Or one of the wingers would come in and score. We're not getting any of that this year. There's no threat of a try from our kicks. And because of that, they're just rushing up and saying, well, you're not going to kick, so we're not going to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it seems easy from my side of the fence to sit there and say, okay, we've got to kick the ball. But obviously there's something preventing that as well. And we can sit here and say it's coached, but I don't think it's that, because you see him practicing all that sort of shit at training. There's something happening where we're not getting that into our game, and it's not asking questions, and it was part of our game. And take with that Jacob Preston and Kikau not there, our two most influential, so influential in us scoring points.
Yep.
It makes it hard.
And you look at the game against Parramatta, and it was in their mind to try to kick to score, and some of those kicks were just not on. You saw the way they kicked them. It was almost like, we need to kick here. But they weren't properly set up for it. It wasn't the right, at the time, it wasn't, like you said, there were opportunities that kicks would have been better off and we would have scored from. The ones that we pulled off against Parramatta weren't ideal sometimes.
They were trying. They were trying,
but it was more forced, because it was like, oh, we need to score from a kick. You know what I mean? It was more of we need to break it up, because we need to get the Eels. They're defending too well. We need to turn them around. We need to do, yes, all of that is right, but it just needs to happen, guys. The flow needs to be a bit better. It needs to come a bit more, spontaneous, with eyes up a bit more, rather than, we have to do it and no one's chasing, no one's ready, it just goes, flat. Sometimes, and just a little bit more confidence on that side as well, guys. Sometimes just having that belief, having that vision, and then you do it once, you do it twice, it becomes part of that. What happens? The team start holding back a bit, ready for that. Then you start having room to spread the ball to your wingers and start, by the time you bring their winger up, hopefully you're in the corner or something. But at the moment, everyone knows we're not going to be doing effective kicks if we kick at all. So they're holding their line, they're rushing up on us, and it's making us look predictable, guys, in attack. It's making us look predictable. So easy to defend against.
Big shout out to Lockie Booth, and also Pete Weber, who's jumped on and throwing $10 our way. Thank you, mate. You're in the draw. Manly hot favourites, big game in the context of the season. Missing Presto kicks hurts us big time, as we just said. 100%. Pete, we'll need a Penrith style win with minimal errors. Can be done in a close one. Keep the faith. The thing last year with Manly, and our most important win, our biggest win of the year, we executed our passing game. It was elite. Connor Tracy had his best game of the season before getting his internal abdominal injury, which he's never really recovered from, to be honest. He hasn't hit that level since. I felt he played well against Para. I really do. I felt there was I still worry about the high ball confidence. I still worry about the cohesion and connection out there with what's happening. But people have quickly forgotten what Tracy did, because they saw Carraz come in and do really well for a couple of weeks. I want to have all our best players on the field. I don't care who plays. I just want we're just going to support the players that are out there. They've had a couple of weeks off. I think we'll get back to the chats in the order they were made, but Pete's throwing $10 in. So very big game, this one. Let's go through some stats before we get into the preview.
I just wanted to catch a few chats, mate, so we're not too far behind, and then you can do that if you want.
All right.
Darren, I really think the bye is the best thing for our game. We haven't had a bye since round 2. Don't understand that long stretch without a break.
Yep, we said that and spoke about that a lot last week.
I've lost a lot of respect for Mick Ennis. That's right, Scary. You're not alone there, buddy. Problem with the experts is the fact that they think they're experts. That's right. Timmy is supporting its poor form and hope the female staff are getting the support they need. Yep. G'day, Jay Sard. Up the dogs, that's it. Agree the fans have the right to opinions. Personal acts of abuse are not opinions. 100%. That's right. Dogs will beat Manly this week. Got a good feeling. Yes. Doesn't help when Crawley and Bulldog Richie are mates with Sticky. That's Ricky Stewart, guys. Biased reporting. Crawley has turned into a version 2 of Buzz. Yeah, it's pretty poor form.
We've got plenty of stuff we're doing on that Dave's doing for Crawley.
G'day, John. Evening, lads. Evening, everyone. Can't wait for the Saturday Socceroos over the USA and into the Doggies win over Manly. Freshened up for this one. Think it'll be a cracking game. Let's go. And, guys, this is the problem. You keep putting, look at the American commentators. You keep putting enough, and even the Turkish captain, etc. You keep putting enough crap on the Aussies, and it's going to come back to bite you. You don't give someone more incentive. You don't give someone more incentive to come out and beat you, especially a do or die Aussie player. Come on, guys. Should be smarter than that, but they'll never learn. Cade Dykes was progressing nicely. I noticed he wasn't named. He has a soft tissue injury, guys. He sustained in the last game, so he's out this week as well. Hopefully it's not too long. Underhill still needs a lot of fitness work, but he's doing great for where he's at. Yes.
He looks to me like he's going to play Origin. He looks like a player that'll play Origin for Queensland one day, the way he plays.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree. How the hell is Kiraz able to play with a torn calf? That's insane. Shout out to a true Kiraz warrior. He is, guys.
Great shout out, guys. I'm going to do a big article on Kiraz this week too, by the way.
Kiraz's machine breaks himself constantly and keeps on getting up and playing. Yes, he does, Legend. Guys. He's a deals and contract negotiations take time. Look how long it has taken for a peace deal to be finalised. Still ongoing, mate. Really enjoy watching Tawala play. Burton seems very hit and miss at the moment.
He is a bit, yeah.
Courageous play. He battles and keeps on going. And what are you on about, Whittle Ramsey?
Look, Whittle Rasby. How you going? Welcome to you. People think Hayward's a great lock. Hayward's a ball player. Now, ball playing locks at the moment they finally started to talk about it the other day.
For Origin?
Well, they just started to talk about it. Johnsy and that started talking about it finally. And this is what I've been saying. The Dogs have been evolving their attack for weeks. Where it's been...
Straight to the halves.
The halves have been playing both sides of the ruck a lot more. And when Burton has more touches of the ball, we go closer to winning. Now, in between that Melbourne game, he went into New South Wales camp, obviously. So, look, this all takes an effect on this. He's a laid-back country boy. And you could see against Para, he was trying, and he did some things that were great. But once he had that burner, his passing was shocking. It was as bad as... And it's funny because Harry goes and does another thing to say, Galvin's not a halfback because he didn't execute a pass to Cherry. That has nothing to do with you being a fucking halfback. How do I say this? If you fail in your execution, doesn't mean you're not something. Now, if I can go, if I'm a singer and I can sing certain chords or whatever, and then during the performance my voice cracks. I don't hit the note that I've hit 100 times. Doesn't mean I can't hit that note. just means I failed on that in that moment. He failed in that moment. I think the fact he double pumped, he should just give it to Cherry, but Cherry was sort of slow to getting there as well. Like, I think there was a combination. I blame the pass more than the person who didn't catch it. And even if he catches it, I don't even think we score. I think the play would have been to go short to Curran. Curran's had a lot of. I've been watching Curran. He looked very frustrated on the weekend. I think he's keen to get something happening. You know, he wants to get something happening with he wants to get his season started. They all do. I'd have a few of those little grubbers in behind happening.
Yep.
Because what that's going to do is make them think twice about rushing up, which is going to allow the Cherries and the Crichtons and Galvin and all the players to get close to the line and finish those tries like they usually do. They hunt those try lines out. They're those types of players. What's happening at the moment is they're sort of too far away from it, and teams are in their face, and they're just waiting for us to do what we want to do. I think the wet sort of suited us a little bit because it's made the defensive line a little bit more hesitant on its feet, sort of thing. So if you're sort of rushing up on the edges and you got players running hard at you at different lines, it's not the same. You've got that bit of hesitancy there and probably a bit more fatigue in the sloppier ground. I just think that. But on these sort of half dry tracks they've been playing on as well, like teams just waiting for us, and it's quite obvious what's happening out there. So yeah, we had 2 weeks off. I think going back to what Darren said and what we were saying last week, we needed that bye. 12 rounds without a break's a long time.
Yeah, especially when
the
things
very
aren't going
fact
great.
The very fact there was teams that hadn't had a bye yet when we were having their first bye the same week we were having our second.
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
Wrong. Yeah, it's wrong. But yeah, Whittle Rabsy, we've obviously, I don't know if you have been on here before, but we've spoken about this a lot, about Salmon and how important he is to the team. But the players are the ones that can measure that as well, a lot more than sometimes we can. And they absolutely love playing with him. He's like everything else. You always need these guys to do all that dirty work, that grind. Not everyone's going to be the big, flashy superstar. I've used the example before, but you've got the Tour de France. They've got different categories for all of the people in that race. They've got something called the domestiques, which is like those guys that do the hill climbing. He's that version for us, does all that dirty work, organisation, cleans up a lot of that mess, has that great line speed. A lot of the media, unfortunately, and people have jumped up and down and spread those stories, have criticised and gone after Salmon because this is an easy target. Don't let all that get to you.
People are saying we've got Peter Warburton he watches this. He's on everywhere. He's a member. Whenever Salmon, whatever happened, like they could be talking about Christmas and he'll mention Salmon, Hayward, Turpin, these Harry Hayes. These players aren't good enough because they don't run hard. They don't break the line. And it says that they're slow and.
Well, hang on. You talk about Salmon being slow.
No, but they're trying to say that they're saying he's slow, and they also say Salmon.
No, not only slow. They say he's slow, and when he's playing the ball, he's one of our fastest play the ball exponents in the team.
Yeah,
nobody gets to their feet and plays the ball faster than Salmon guys consistently. He's our best in the team.
Yeah,
so when you're saying he's too slow,
that's one of the main responses I give, and also
people don't know that. People don't see that. Yeah, they just want to say he's slow. That's easy to say.
But where Whittle Raspberries come in here, right? I believe it's off listening to all these comments that people are saying. I watch Salmon live at the games, and I watch him and so people are obsessing over him. And you go,
yeah,
he's a player who comes in as the third man in, and then hangs at marker. I'm like, well, he's always chasing he chases from marker. He does come in third man, and he directs he's one of the guys who's dragging players back to where we want to keep him. He's one of the main, when he plays, the Bulldogs average the best the lowest we concede less meters from where the fullback gets the ball to where the kick is taken when he plays, because he's directing all that. But they say when he runs the ball, he then puts his hands on his hips and he doesn't do the kick chase. I'm like, well, when he's on the edge, he does the kick chase, and he's rarely running fourth or fifth play. So he does the kick chase when he's on the edge, because that's his role. But when he's running fourth or fifth tackle, sometimes, just like when Man comes on, except he's doing it from the start of the game when it's harder. I'm like, he's got to sum up whether to take the hit up, get the quick play of the ball that we talk about. The quickest in the team, by the way, one of the quickest in the comp. I think he's averaging like 2.8 seconds. Yep. It's a bit slower on an edge because he's doing different work. But his job is, okay, I need to generate a quick play of the ball, find my front, so that we've got space to get away a nice kick so we can start it all again. And what am I hearing from the crowd coming through? Boo! Oh, why did you run the ball? Oh, you're turning into Aiden Tolman. All this sort of shit. It's like they're acting under. They're doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. If the halves want the fucking ball, they get it. Obviously, didn't want it. Let's get into this, eh?
Let's go.
Guys, I'll quickly go. Obviously, points scored 16. And look, you can sum this all up and say, people see parts of this picture and they go, oh, we're not top 8. Oh, we need to score. That's obvious, criticism. That's all right. You can criticize it. But this is behind the story of where we are and why the coach sits there and says, we're doing well in a lot of areas. If we can just fix one or two things, it's going to change everything. And the big thing for us, Gas, is if we score a try in some of these games, I think there's been 8 or 9 games where we've actually done well at the start of the game and had things in the groove that we've wanted and haven't sort of scored points from it or scored enough points from it.
Yeah, that's right.
One more try in that period of the game, we win most of those games.
Yep.
Right? We get that try in that period, we're likely to then not concede a try when we concede it. And sometimes we then would concede 1 or 2 or 3. We score a try, especially having to work for it, getting down there and sort of like against Penrith. What did we get? 3 tries.
Yep.
So as Pete said, if we go out there and do what we did against Penrith, against Manly, and I think we can. They're playing confident Manly, but they're still the same Manly team. But a lot of players that have come through, been in that system a long time. They've got a steady halfback there now.
Tommy's back.
Tommy's back. We'll see how good he goes straight up. But look, I'm expecting a massive game. Taniela Paseka is always going to be an enforcer. They got Hamoli, who shouldn't have been dropped. Should have been backing up against the Bulldogs. Won't be. He'll be fresh and angry. That's not good for us. But I think it's going to be a big deal. But let's finish this off. So attacking stats. Possession, we're still 5th. Last year at this point, we were top 2. Line breaks, 10th. We were worse than that last year. So we're making more line breaks than we did. But scoring less points. It's the halfback's fault. They're not managing the game. Okay. Maybe we need to get more from our most highest paid experienced half, who is trying and he's getting more touches. But I think that kick deception is needed. Post contact, 7th from last in 2023-24, and I think bottom 4 last year to 7th. Tackle breaks, 6th from last and near the back of the field to 6th. Decoy runs, 4th. People running decoys for each other. Run meters, 5th. Usually run meters and possession are very well aligned. But our overall possession is 1% worse than it was last year at this point of the year. We're 52%. We're now 51 with a few other teams, 51 point something. All runs 5th, which also lines up with that other stat. Kick return meters 3rd. which means we're forcing teams to kick from deep in their own territory, and our guys are getting the ball and running it a long way before they're getting tackled. Okay? Dummy half runs 14th. Now, that's not just from your hooker. That's from everyone in the team. There's some teams where the hooker hardly runs, but they have a lot of dummy half runs from their centers and stuff. Like Katoni Staggs will run a lot from dummy half. We want to see Birdo do a bit more of that, even though he's a 5'8". Offload's 4th. Now, I reckon we might be first by the end of the year in this stat because we're first in the last month by a long way. 15th in try assists, which is a reflection of the points we've scored. 11th in line break assists, though. So we're making a lot more breaks. And guys, we were around this area last year, a similar type of area. What was the difference? A bit more variation, bit more people sure of themselves, a lot less injuries to key personnel at that point of the year as well. Made a difference. All receipts 3rd. Defensive stats, points conceded 8th. Now, we were 14th 3 weeks ago. So we're conceding. There's only two teams behind us. So we've improved a lot in the last few weeks. I think, what have we conceded? 6 to 8 tries in the last 3 weeks, something like that. 7 tries. Tackles made, 8th worst. So obviously, the more you make. So we're 8th, but first is the worst stat. 16th or 17th is the best. Missed tackles, 7th worst. So we're 7th in missed tackles. Now, we've been top 3 in that area for the last couple of years. So we're actually missing less tackles as well. Way less tackles. Charge downs first by a country mile. Intercepts, 16th. There's something in that as well. Confidence and speed and awareness to see what the opposition are doing and run out and take that intercept. We used to do that fairly well. Ineffective tackles, though, we're the best in the comp. Kicking stats, total kicks 10th, total kick meters 9th. With good field position, good possession, your kick meters, I think we're about 5th at this point last year. Obviously, Burton not kicking as much. We're not kicking as far because, but look, I feel Galvin's kicking is actually improving the time. Conversion percentage 8th, 40-20s. We're 5th, equal 5th with about 8 other teams because we've had one 40-20, and I think the Cowboys have had 5, and every other team's had 1 or none. Short dropouts, we've done the most short dropouts in the comp.
Rabbitohs have had 2, I think. Cody Walker's had a couple.
There you go. Just 11th in errors, meaning there's a lot more teams making it. So 11th's actually like 11th best, or 11th worst. It's sorry guys, it's a little bit hard to explain it, but there's 10 other teams making more errors than us. Penalties conceded. There's 8 other teams giving away more penalties than us. Handling errors, there's 12 other teams making more handling errors. But what I will say is, no team.
I was going to say, with the penalties conceded, guys, if you look back about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were near the bottom of that one. So we've actually got our discipline has improved a lot over the last few weeks. And you can see it in the games, guys. We've been giving away less penalties, less 6 agains. Definitely been a focus, something that we're looking at to not just keep giving those teams that momentum. So getting off the players a lot faster, just not giving the ref an opportunity to blow that 6 again if we have to. So definitely an improvement there.
One thing I'll say, though, and I haven't really got the bombs and stuff in there, but when we make a handling error, we know how to make a good one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We're working our ass off to control the game. You can see it through the stats.
Yes.
But they're not getting the reward for their efforts. And that can turn your season into by round 20, you got nothing left. and it's 40-0 every week. That could happen to us guys. Now I'm hoping it doesn't happen. That's a reality of rugby league. You see teams are gritty, and people say we weren't gritty against the Dolphins and all that sort of stuff, but we're ahead in that game, and we're going well until we had our players in, and then they blew us off the park.
Yeah.
They blew quite a few teams off the park since then.
Yeah. And one other thing, guys, to note, you look at these stats, you look at what this is what the stuff that the team has been training on in the off-season and getting right, working on all these key areas that for them, they're going to dominate. Now, what happens when you get it right? You have a game like you did against Penrith, guys. That's the bottom line. When you get that side of it right with this side, that's what happens. You get those results. Problem is we haven't combined the two. Like Michael said, we've actually been going out there and you see it. I've only missed 2 games, Vegas and one other game this year. You're there all the time. You're looking at it. You watch the game. The effort, everything we're doing is right. It's exactly like Michael said. If we're not scoring that early try and continuing on, guys, when we're giving away a cheap possession, we're conceding points multiple times, and then we're out of the game. So that's just a confidence thing. But if we're getting all these other things right consistently, eventually, when we click in attack, then it's watch out time. Because that's going to be the difference. When we start getting ahead in attack, we're very, very, very rarely going to get run down, guys, from a decent lead. Because then we can start playing our game, control our position, get into that grind. That's going to suit us down to the ground. But we've been, if you notice, how many games have we had to, we still need to score 3 tries at the end or 2 tries to win the game. You know, we pulled it off against Melbourne, but we can't do that all the time, guys. We can't keep playing catch-up. So that's why, at the moment, these things are very good. That's why Seraldo has honestly been happy with a lot of these key areas, but we're losing the key one, which is the scoreboard. And that's the one where if we just get that right and get a bit of confidence and get a few things working in attack, these things will come into their own and help us win the games. We're not that far away. Hopefully now after a bye, Manly can see how we go first up on Saturday.
All right.
Everyone gave us no hope against Penrith. We beat them. People expected Melbourne to roll us. We ended up rolling them in the second half. I give us a chance against Manly. Yes, mate, you are not alone. It's got that feeling.
You are not alone.
G'day, Lockie. With Kicks and Presto not playing, that's a lot of the go forward missing in the team. Yes, it is.
100%, Shawnee.
Christopher Barclay, what do we think of Spinks getting a run this week? Very excited if he gets to debut. That's possible.
I won't be too long, guys. Keep going through these chats for me, guys.
He's there. Our kick defusal is really poor as well. It improved since
John
Perez came back. But we just seem to struggle in this area as much as our attacking kicking game. You're 100% right, mate. Karaz was attacking it a lot more and taking the chance to take it, not being afraid to go for it. Kind of sort of got into a little bit of a confidence thing where it just wasn't happening and paid the price a few times without catching it. And then we leaked points off it straight away. Yes, Aki, it's going to be a very early wake-up, mate. Maybe you should get some rest after the game before we go to the Doggies game. It's an early start for a lot of Aussies. Yes, it is. Mix karaoke. No, mate, don't encourage him. I'm a fan of Salmon. You always know what you're going to get with him. He's a ball runner, not a ball player. He's a player organizer. 100%, mate. Well said. No, we don't, Timmy. Hayward still has his place in the team, but he's not a replacement for Salmon. Salmon is very reliable. Yes, guys, thank you. Same said for Hayward. Both Salmon and Hayward are doing a role for the team. Back them and stop putting them down. Thanks, Timmy. Our attack will be striking good next season, especially with a new dummy half. Well, that dummy half potentially, guys, is likely just to be a replacement for someone like out of luck Turpin who keeps getting injured. So there's no real changes there, guys. You know, we did have another dummy half this year that hasn't been playing, and we've been using someone else. Freddie's just basically there to potentially replace someone like that. It doesn't mean that we've lost out with Hayward. He's still a long time work in progress, but having another experienced half coming in there will be good to give us that balance as well. Unlikely, mate. Blaming Hayward for our attack is a joke. We had Marnie last year and the year before, and our attack wasn't great. That's right, Brian. Yep, Scary agrees as well. I feel we've missed the rotation between Mann and Hayward in the Eels game. When Hayward comes on, he definitely helps straighten up the attack through the middle. Yeah, and you know what? I think when he's got 20 minutes under his belt on the bench and he plays that last 60, it does help him at the moment with where he's at in his development as a hooker. I agree. If you watch North Queensland, Marnie has been terrible. He's slow and giving away dumb penalties. We don't miss that. Mate, I think you're drunk. Hayward is not. There's a lot of options there, mate. But just so you know, buddy, Burton has never won a game with the Bulldogs playing in the centres. There you go, mate. Thank you, Scary. Yeah, man, I think you've had a few too many drinks, buddy. Is it true Preston is going to leave the Dogs? We've already spoken about that quite a bit. It's a long negotiation process that all clubs do with all their good players. A lot of determination on their roster, on everything else, guys. So still way too early to worry about. Let that take its course. Preston isn't leaving the club. Hey, Scary, I think Gilly's drunk. Yes, Timmy, I agree. Didn't they say that Preston is going on the market? All talk, guys. It's all negotiation. It's all talk. It's everyone doing their job, guys. Managers, media, everyone's doing their job, guys. It's got everyone's attention. That's what it's designed to do, guys. That's what it's designed to do.
Darth Vader's back in the house. Wearing my black jersey.
That's it. There's the black jersey there, ready for the Bulldogs wearing that jersey on Saturday night, guys. So if you haven't already got one, they're at the Bulldog store. Grab a hold. Unless you're 6XL, then don't get that one. It's sold out.
I bought 6XL the other day.
There you go.
It's on its way. Thank you, guys.
Well, it's a blow from the media. They can't help themselves. Just start the crap about the Bulldogs. That's all they do. They start the crap about the Doggies. It gets them hits. We've turned a lot of people into millionaires in the media, guys. That's just what we do. We're so kind to us Bulldog supporters. We're hurting with Preston and Kicks out of the team injured. Yes, Doggies will prove these journos wrong. I want the Doggies to make the grand final and win it. Yes, mate, you are not alone. Not alone.
You are not alone.
Maybe Patrick Young will get a shot next season as he's currently in our top 30. I think Michael spoke about that on the last week, but that's going to be an interesting one to see how he keeps coming and developing there, guys. Attack-wise, he's moving in the right direction. He's still got a bit of work to do defensively, but it's a good bobble. I was at the Dogs-Eels game on the Monday. Yes, that was a grind. Let's call it that, guys. How often do you see a nil or scoreline at halftime? Loving the new jersey, Mick. Yes.
I'm not. That's not the new one. That's one of the old ones.
Yeah. And where's the Darth Vader outfit? Here's a story of a lovely lady.
We did the story on the signing of Freddie Lussick, which I think happened after. That would have happened after our podcast last week. I'm pretty sure. So we haven't really talked about it. And I didn't put it on the preview, but I just realised we haven't. So what does this signing mean, Gas? What does this signing mean? It means that they're saying that Hayward's going to go back to 13 and blah, blah, blah. But really, Freddie Lussick, look, I don't expect Jake Turpin will be at the club next year. He's on a one-year deal. He's had a lot of injuries. I love Jake Turpin. I look at Freddie Lussick's stats. Tackles about 95%. Turpin's about a 97, 98% But as we say, he just keeps getting injured. So I'm not 100% sure he's going to be re-signed. Now, if that's the case, the depth in our hooking options remains identical. So to think that, and I don't think Freddie Lussick is going to be on 500, 400 or 600 grand. I think he'd be on money where for someone they expect to play minutes, not 80 minutes. He's doing well in that Penrith system. He's a player that's getting the ball out to Cleary, and then when teams are run down and looking for the next play, you know, he pulled the Tigers' pants down a couple of times, scored a couple of tries from dummy half. You know, I'd expect Hayward could do that as well. And I'm not putting him down. I'm not bringing Hayward up here. Freddie Lussick's been playing hooker his whole career. And he's a genuine number 9.
Played with four different clubs as well, guys.
4 different clubs, and he's only young. He's only 25. So, and he's doing really well. And he played in that Warriors system, which has a lot of similarities as well. So he's basically been, and he come from the Roosters, I'm pretty sure.
And one season at the Dragons, yep.
And a season at the Dragons. So Freddie is, he gets in there and he has a good crack. Now, hopefully Gordon's come along another year in the system. He'll be in the top 30 next year. If well, that's what it says at the moment. He got a 2-year deal, one in the development that upgrades to top 30 the year later, which was obviously designed in, we're going to help you become an NRL footballer. We love you. You're a good bloke. Come back to the area. And you've got a lot of good parts about your character and about your game that we like. And he's working on all that stuff, and his minutes have gone up the last 3 weeks. And let's see it continue to go along that path. But I think what happens is that Freddie Lussick and Bailey Hayward, Hayward can come off the bench like he is right now, and continue to add great value. You know, I see the 17 or the 19-man team now as I see 16 of those players as being just as important as everyone else, and then the other 3 are sort of are important, but it just depends in what strategy or what capacity they're used on the day, depending on what happens. But there's 16 players out there are just as important as anyone else, whether they're playing 80 minutes or 25 or 30. They're playing a very important role in what happens. And I think Bailey offers great versatility still. But primarily, I think there's great value in having a 2-pronged attack at hooker. It's something we're moving towards. We've continually said it every single week for the last 100 years. Reid Marnie was supposed to be here this year to play in that capacity with Bailey. And look, and I feel that having Hayward and Lussick there, and then you got Gordon and hopefully Patrick Young as well, because I love what I see from an attacking point of view. And the fact that, you know, in his last game, he was forced to go into 5'8" because Dykes went off injured. He's got attacking game, Patrick Young. It's not always like some of his passing in that isn't what I would call crisp or crisp, but he gets it to where it's got to go. You know, he knows where to get the ball. He has a really good vision of attack and to take the space, and he's got a determination and speed in his game that look, I hate to do all that sort of comparing stuff, but I sort of looked at the way that Damien Cook attacked the game as a young kid coming through. And then when he finally got his chance at Canterbury for a few games, when Ennis got injured or whatever. And then what he did at Souths after that, really good attacking eyes up player. And I see a lot of that in Patrick Young's game. Does that mean he's going to end up having a similar type of career to Cookie? Who knows? But that's what I see at the moment. I'm sure the Bulldogs see a lot in that as well with his attack, and they'll keep developing him. But just because Freddie, this is what I mean, though. The media made it sound like that us signing Freddie Lussick was some admission of failure in our spine. And we've continually said the same story the whole time, that Bailey Hayward has stepped into a role that because he's fit, he's trusted, and he's a really good high quality player that they've given that responsibility to. It wasn't because Reid Marnie was shit. It was because they had to do that for the future. They signed Jake Turpin for another year. Now, I think Jake would have played a lot of minutes this year if he had been injured. I think he really would have. There would have been a really strong management of the roster over 27 rounds to have those players interchange and do different things at different times. But unfortunately, he's torn his bicep, which is a terrible injury. And I don't know how long that takes, Gas. If
12 to 14 usually.
Okay, 12 to 14. So there you go. It's a long injury. Maybe we get a bit of help from him later in the year. Maybe Gordon's humming by then and gets his opportunity. But yeah, I think having Freddie Lussick come in is just a good young player and could end up being a really good hooker for us over a long period of time, and someone you can upgrade him to 400 or 500 grand in a couple of years for another couple of years after this 2 years if he does well. But yeah, I don't. He's not this $600,000-700,000 player. He rarely kicks the ball. He rarely runs. He's just a solid. His service is pretty good off the ground. His distribution's good, and he knows who to get it to. He hears the calls. He goes the right way a lot of the time. But I tell you now, it's a big advantage having Nathan Cleary playing at halfback comparatively than what we've got in our team as far as experience goes. It's like he's got the best halfback in the world with him. And then if Nathan has a week off, they bring in like a Jack Cogger who's, won a grand final in the same capacity. Come in, knows what to do. Like they might not lose again for another 10 years. The Panthers. But look, we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's my thoughts on there was another big beat up on that, and then it didn't need to be.
And he's not even a full running hooker as well. This year, he's actually run for the most average meters in his 8-year career, guys. He's run for 29 meters a game on average. The previous best.
Why is that? Why is he running at Penrith? Who historically don't have too many runners.
Exactly.
That's why they got rid of Appy, because they didn't need Appy anymore, because Nathan had reached that level of control where it's just give me the ball. Mitch just gives him the ball. When Mitch will run the ball when no one expects him to and score points.
That's right.
Like they'll bring it, and that's what Bailey's going to do. Bailey doing a chip from dummy. No, he didn't execute it, but he was the right play. It was the right moment, the right play. He scores that try. We get a bit of breathing space. All of a sudden, people aren't as sad as they were for us winning by 2 points. But it's funny. It's a funny game, rugby league is.
Let's go through a few more chats, mate.
Good. I reckon 280 be about right. 280 to 350 max. Yep.
Mick saying to All Things Bulldog, I am your dog father, I think in your Darth Vader voice, mate. That's all right. I'm thinking Freddie's signing will definitely be the end of Turpin, and I have a feeling possibly Mann as well.
Yeah. I'm not confident about a Kurt Mann signing for next year. Something has to give.
Too many younger ones coming through. Gordon 9, Hayward 13, Lussick off the bench, but where would that leave Kurt Mann? Man plays his guts out, and that can never be taken away from him. But feel and see his age is starting to show. He's done so well to play for as long as he has. Currently 33 and nearly 34, getting up there for first grade.
I can't let Heinz's comment go. I can't let it go.
That's all right.
I cannot see a situation where Gordon's starting at 9 and Lussick's off the bench. We're not going to pay Lussick 300 grand. Like, Gordon's not anywhere near that money. He's not our number one option.
Thunder Calves.
Hopefully, though, what I saw from Thunder Calves when he came into the game is someone who could play like a Brandon Smith. I also got a bit of that from Curtis Moran as well.
He's been on fire too. He's been on fire.
Yes, but at the Dogs, he was dropping some balls under pressure, and it seems they ruled a line for him. That's one that I agree with, that I didn't like the letting him go. We all love Curtis Moran, and we loved him as a junior, and some people were saying, I would prefer we've kept him and not extended a Salmon, but two different players, and but Curtis doesn't throw when he was throwing balls, a lot of them went to ground, and that was even in New South Wales Cup and stuff. He can do it. He did it for the Maoris, but it's very hit and miss with his ball playing. When he's just running the ball, though, off the back fence, love it. Love it.
What's your brother Pete got to say, mate?
I think you're a bit light on there, mate. He'll be the starting hooker, in my opinion. Yeah, a bit light, maybe 350. I reckon. I can't see it going over 350. I just don't see that out of Freddie.
Journeyman.
Bit of a German. I reckon 350 though would definitely be in the ballpark if I'm riding out my cap. If me and Pete are running through it, I think we'd be negotiating between 400 and 350 though, more so than 280 to 350.
This is his 8th season, guys, and it's only the 3rd time that he's crossed double figures of games in a season.
Yep.
He's only had, or actually 4th. He's played 11, 12, 14, and then this year he's done 10. So 4 times in 8 he's crossed, and 14 is the most he's played in a season. So he's definitely not a front line, and whatever he's done in where he's been, he hasn't become the main man.
No.
So that's the thing, guys.
I think they might, like with this playing with Penrith and obviously on the front foot, getting a lot of possession, a lot of fatigue in the defence, he's going to run more because there's going to be more opportunities for him to run without fatiguing. So that's why he's running more at the Panthers. And I think coming to Canterbury, hopefully we give him a good platform to play off and he actually develops into a 100-game player for the Bulldogs. That'd be lovely. And I think he might start in games, but how many minutes he plays is going to be up for debate. And hopefully he's walking into a premiership winner hopefully he loses the grand final to the Bulldogs.
Thank you for not letting my comment go. I appreciate it.
Love it.
I didn't want Curtis to leave, but it would have happened now with the other boys coming through anyway. Well, look, he's a Bulldog the way he looks and plays. He's doing well at the Titans. Yeah, he's doing well at the Titans. But like Michael said, there was so many times where just because of his enthusiasm and the way that he runs it and hits it so hard, he was coming onto the ball so fast that ball was not just knocked on, it was left behind, guys. And kind of like, when you see Satilli sometimes do those big hit-ups, and he's always probably, he hasn't been as much, but he's usually good for one a game where he sort of will hit that ball up and then it'll just pop out. But Moran was so enthusiastic, so keen. A couple of times he did leave it behind, and it wasn't from a lack of effort or trying, but pound for pound, I think he still was one of the strongest players in the club, guys. Absolute machine he was. That's always bats way above his weight and holds his own. So,
I loved his uncle too.
Timmy has a date with Curtis in a few weeks. Yeah, I think we all do, Timmy. I think we all do at Seabus, mate.
Is Timmy going to Seabus?
Timmy won't go to Seabus.
We have a date. We have a date. I thought you said Timmy has a date.
Well, maybe he's talking about him and his partner or something. I don't know. Timmy, whatever he's up to, Timmy. That's all right.
All right. Beautiful. We've all got opinions.
That's it. All good, guys. All good in the hood.
All right, we're all up to date with the chats. So
yeah, let's get into the teams, mate.
Let's get into it. I'll get those out of there.
Team list Tuesday. We've had the teams running down the bottom, guys, but let's have a look at how they look side by side. And I'm of the opinion, guys, there will be a couple of changes to our team before Saturday.
Well, let's get our predictions going, guys. Let's get our predictions going. Might turn the comments off for a little bit.
Yep.
So we can see. Bulldogs versus Eagles. So Sean O'Sullivan drops out of the side. Tommy's back. They've got pretty much their best back line on the field. From Fogarty, Brooks, Hopewade, Garrick, Kola, if he backs up from Origin, which I'm sure he will, Jason Saab and Tommy Travojevic. Connor Tracy back in the one jersey with Jacob Carraz, Bronson Cherry, Critter, Anari Toala, Matt Burton, and Lachlan Galvin. I don't think there'll be any changes to that back line. I think that's how it will start. Before we move to the forwards, any thoughts from you, Gas? Will that back line change?
I would still make one change. I would bring Jethro in for Cherry and put Toala in the centres.
So that's what you would do. What's your prediction?
I think Jethro's there for a reason. I just feel like Cherry's out of form. I don't know. I know he had one good game against Melbourne, but I feel like he's out of form. And we're wasting Toala on the wing, guys. I just feel... I know that Serraldo likes to make those late changes, but I really want to see that this week. I'm thinking it's a chance. I'm thinking it's a chance.
I don't think it'll happen. I think that'll be 1 to 7 as named, and I have no intel whatsoever. And as far as what I would want to see, part of me still wants Carraz at fullback, but I want Connor to come out and have an absolute blinder. I want to see Chris passing, and and I want Cherry to have a good game. I want to see the kick come back. I want to see these guys rushing up and being absolutely made examples of. I want our slow back line to absolutely annihilate this Manly team. It needs to happen. This is a must. Look, they're all must-win games at the moment, but we've got to get to that next bye, sitting at 7 wins and 8 losses, 3 byes. That'd be what, round 20? What round would that be? So this is round 16, isn't it? So round 17's Titans. So it'd be round 19. That's about what? 9 matches we'll have to play in the run home before finals, which is a long run home as well. And we can make 38 points if we win every match, which would get us almost top 4, would probably get us top 4. We'd have to win every match from here on to make the top 4. To make the top 8, we probably can only lose 3 matches. So that's how serious this stuff is. They got the win against Parramatta. They have to get out there and look, Brandon Wakeham's at number 9, Bulldogs Junior, Fijian representative. It was against Manly in 2022, round 3. Jake Averillo got sacked after 2 games from the halfback duty. Brandon Wakem was given the 7 jersey. He scores nearly to start the game. Had an absolutely great first 25, 30 minutes. By round 4, he was demoted out of the side, and I don't think he ever got back into it.
I feel like this game is going to be similar to last year's game at Allianz. I don't think we're going to blow them off the park early. I think we're going to have to grind our way with them, absorb everything they throw at us, which is what we did last year. And as long as we can defend that like we did last year, I think we can come out the other side and start to, I know that we're both teams are off the bye, so it's going to be challenging on that side for us. But I think if we can hold them out to start the game, because they usually love getting off to those big fast starts, Manly, and they'll blow teams off the park early. But if we can hold that out, I think we can get into that grind and then hopefully come over the top at the back end of the game again.
Well, Jake's running the ball a lot more this year, and he was one of the guys I said that had to improve for Manly to do better, because statistically he's just gone like you can't defend his stats over the last few years. This year he's much better. And I said he has to start doing it. You can't be paid that much money and not run the footy. So he's been averaging. He's had 13 appearances this season for 6 tackle breaks. He scored a try. He's averaging only 6 hit-ups. Tackling at 96%, he's averaging 55 metres. 8 wins, 5 losses. Last year averaged 49 metres. But look where he was in his heyday. 134, 135, 122, 117, 109, 87, 72, 49, 55. So I feel he was taking more hit-ups at the start of the year. I haven't really watched too much Fosball, to be honest. I've watched a lot of half games. His tackle efficiency's up. Obviously, they're probably getting a bit more ball. He used to offload all the time. Doesn't do it anymore. Yeah. Jakey Drabojevic, what a champion, eh? But God, you couldn't have him on $1 million, could you?
Just a shout out to Mike. Thanks for your support, mate.
What's happened? Oh, thank you so much, mate. Mike, Champion Industries. We're definitely going to have a draw at the end of this, guys. Now, what I'm going to do for cartel members is we've got a grand final shirt from not a grand final shirt, but last year's final shirt. So I'll get you to send a 2XL out to Sean, and I'll need you to send one my way. We'll swing you some postage.
We'll sort it out, mate. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, got to get James's size for that. And we're going to get one for Brian, who's just upgraded to the cartel as well. So thank you, Brian. And Mike will need one as well if he hasn't already got one.
Sounds like some Colombians over here with the cartels. What's going on?
See, look, we've got I think I bought 8 of them. A couple of about 3, 4 XLs and a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a couple of XLs. So we should have enough for the cartel members to send out. And then the other ones we'll put them up as draw prizes and get them signed or whatever.
No worries.
So, all right. Thank you, Mike. Big thank you to you, mate. And we'll have to get a draw going from last week. I just have to source who paid last week. I know it was Tony paid some money last week. Who else did? Plus, I got heaps in the bank account, which I can track.
There was a few, mate. Yep.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Timmy's saying Brendan Wakeham again, former club. That's right, as we mentioned. Could there be a possible debut for either Spinks or Conti? I think Spinks is more of a chance. I don't think Conti. I think he's just going to be training around the boys as a reward for his good games. But I don't think. I think he'll be on his way to New Zealand, not to Acor, personally.
Yeah, I think AJ will be going to New Zealand too. Probably
After a suspension, yeah.
Yeah, and be able to catch up with his old man and all that, and his family. That's where he's from. Not that it'll be like that's a priority or anything, but I just added that on. The fact, he hasn't played would make sense. That these guys, I reckon Lipboy will be heading over there, and maybe Logan. I can't see him really hanging around and anyone in the top 6 here. Then heading, if just say like Jethro and Logan don't play, I can't see them jumping on a plane that night to play at 11 o'clock the next day in New Zealand. Could you see that happening?
No, I don't see that happening as well. They won't have a chance. If they don't get played, they're going to have to leave during the game to make it to a flight just to get there that night. I don't see them leaving the next morning either on an early flight as well, personally.
If someone gets injured on Friday, because I reckon, do you reckon those New South Wales Cup and Flag boys will head there on Saturday or Friday?
Potentially Saturday, I feel. Potentially Saturday. Early Saturday to give themselves a day to acclimatise and get ready for the game on Sunday. So we'll know with those guys. Yeah.
And we'll need to keep a reserve.
Correct.
So one of these 3 aren't going either. So I think Lipboy stays and AJ and Alex jump on the plane.
Yep, because then we've got a few players with potential back coverage. So that's going to be the option.
I'll tell you what, I didn't mind Josh playing on the edge again. I thought he looked promising. As I said, a couple of little kicks from Birdo in behind, and we scored some points.
Yep.
I want to see Jack get out there and rip in. Sort of look at Jed's size and go, I wonder how he'd go at it. Someone said that the other week too. I wonder how he'd go in at dummy half. He's got that. He's not huge, you know what I mean? But Logan Spinks, could he make his debut this week? I reckon there's potential in it. What bigger stage against the old enemy? I feel there's a little bit less energy on our bench. I'm just feeling like there's not as much energy. I feel Bailey's bringing good energy in the role he's playing off the bench. I think he enjoys having that heat taken out of it. Like Kurt Mann's breaking his body to play 9. It'll be taking a toll. Don't you worry about that. But he's tough as they come, Kurt Mann. There's no tougher. I'm just feeling the energy. I don't know. I like having Harry come off the bench. I really do.
Yeah.
Without having Satili there. I think Josh has done pretty well off the bench, especially against the week before. Had really good. He was one of our best players when he come on. But is there potential for a Logan Spinks to line up on an edge this week and start? I don't know. Be a big deal. And how would he line up? He'd have Hamoli Olakawatu running at him. That's going to be interesting.
It'd be interesting.
That's what Jamin's going to have to deal with. I'm putting Josh Carr in there. That's what I'd do.
Okay. If we don't win this, I think there'll be some changes.
I think the Para game was more likely to provoke that, but this is the real deal, Manly. That's a finals looking roster that's had a lot of games together. And I think Hetherington adds really good starch to them. Ben Travojevic is now his third or fourth season. Hamali's only getting better. Paseka's backfiring again. Like, going back to last year, like, even though it was a great performance by us, they had a lot. They were a bit busted up themselves, Manly. They had excuses. But they come out and played that anniversary match for that 95, 30 years from the 95 grand final. They played like that game meant a lot to them, even though they got blown off the park points-wise. And this Saturday, if our boys aren't where they need to be, they'll get blown away. Yep. So if they're not out there and ready to absolutely go out there, execute and play a tough game, a high tempo game like they did against the Panthers, anything could happen here. It's one of those scenarios yet again. I think they're going to be up for it. I think the Dogs, it's like another grand final for us this week. And with that being said, all out there on all the cards laid bare. Everything will be on the table. And win or lose after that, you can't be disappointed if they give it their absolute everything. But I feel the last two times we've played Manly, we've been the much more dominant side, the semi-final and the game last year. I want to see Manly get absolutely destroyed this week by the Bulldogs.
It'll be great. Thanks, Brian. Got you back, Jack. Straight out of our third bye against Canberra. We have a bye at the same time as Canterbury. Yeah, so we played 2 games now, guys. We played Manly and the Titans. Then we have our last bye. Then we start with Canberra and the back end of the season. And we also play the Tigers again, guys. So that's a chance to get some redemption there as well. The Tigers in round 20 coming up very soon. Matty Warren, we have 2 backs on the 6-man bench, so I wouldn't be shocked if that isn't the back line that starts this week. Yes. Serraldo loves those late swings, guys. Timmy, do you think Jamal is going to be better than DCE? 2 different types of players, Timmy, but who knows, mate? Jamal was not young either, mate. He's over 30 already.
It was a late starter, Jamal, like Cody Walker, but at the end of the day, Jamal's always put his hand up. He's just failed in big games, and he's been absolutely crucified for it, by the way. At Canberra, he was a player that did get scapegoated. I will say that, by Nasta especially. For some reason, Braith always attacked Jamal. But what I would say to Braith is that he would miss 4 field goals. He'd still attempt them. But just the setups around his field goals and that have always been dodgy as hell. It must be frustrating as a Canberra supporter. Now with the Seagulls playing Fosball, I find that his kicks are very accurate. He can do a lot of damage with his kicking game. He's got a lot of depth to it. Short and long, pretty good. I think sometimes he overplays his hand a bit, where it's sort of like Jamal. If you just use the weapons you've got at your disposal, that team would have been doing a lot better at that moment. But look, I just think he's one of these players who'll just keep getting better and better and better and better until he retires. And I think that's one thing you can say about. Not too many people are speaking about Fogarty's involvement in this side, and that's probably a really good thing. Sometimes I've listened to some of the halfbacks speak. It's when the halfbacks aren't making the headlines and teams are winning that's because the halfbacks are doing a really good job. Unless they're just a role player. But I think if Fogarty's out there playing both sides of the ruck, getting the ball to the players that need it in their hands, Manly have so much threat with their running game that, like Garrick's a great footballer. And then you had Kohler and Hopewadi's developing, and you got Jason Saab, the speed of him, and then you've got Fualalo who's been coming out of it. Now, I hope he's going to the Bulldogs. Part of me hopes that. But he just, as I'm talking about that, he got done his hamstring. So see if that comes to it. I was told he was the player coming to the Bulldogs. 3 days later, they announced the signing of Freddie Lussick. So
Jake's been reinvented under Fosball. Yes. Even
Maybe.
Brooksy has elevated his game under Foran. I think just they're playing in a team that's that
Winning.
This new rugby league format this year, guys, the way it's been refereed, it suits their style, guys. It suits their speed and everything else. And they're playing with a bit of confidence. Pete, all good, Mike. I did do a bit of diving when I posted on the group about his signing and estimated him at 350, but who am I to know? He's done a great job in the absence of Kenny. I like the signing.
Yep. Good shout out, mate. G'day, David. Hope you're all hope your back's fixed, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're out of hospital, mate.
Got a new profile picture, mate. Looking good, buddy.
Beautiful. Yeah, Greg's been putting the time out. He said something ridiculous. So Shawnee said, "See you, Greg." He knew he was gone. Timmy says, "Would I start Curran and put Hayes to the bench?" 100% I would.
Yep. I still think that's a chance.
I think we can do a lot with that. Or even, I know Salmon doesn't offer the same energy off the bench, but he goes all right off the bench too. He's done a lot of it. He's played a lot of games off the bench and done a good job.
Yep.
We have to win with our defence, Timmy. That's right. But look, we would have won with our defence in games, is what I'm saying with all those stats. But because we didn't execute when we needed to, off the back of getting things done, it really fucked with our heads, and it really fucked with when teams got us on the counter. They really got us on the counter, and all of a sudden we were chasing the game. It wasn't just shit defense from the start of every game. There was some games where there was some poor options, and you could see when Carraz was at fullback against West and that try they get down the left edge straight up. Critter and Gavin were about 100 metres away from each other. Like, there was something, there wasn't like Tracy's just normally not allowing that Spencer, that sort of thing to happen when he's behind the line or even in the line. And that can happen, guys. They're all talking. And you see them at training where they're running the numbers. They'll be like, move in, move centre post, move. They've got all the things they say to get, and the players just, they've got their eyes up on the game, but they slide and move to where they've got to go and stuff. That didn't happen that day. I don't know what I'm doing now. Starting to go off.
All right, mate.
My brain's going mental.
Fosball is overhyped. Those on the northern beaches have been drinking the Kool-Aid. We will smash them.
Yeah.
There is bragging rights in my extended family. My cousins follow Manly. Sorry to hear that, Timmy. I think the Manly team wanted Anthony sacked. Everyone will play better when they try. That's right.
Well, he doesn't have a good rap, Seabold, does he? Doesn't have a good rap.
He's he must interview well, guys. That's what I can say about Anthony Seabold. He must interview well.
Got a good manager.
So he says the right things and does the right thing, but just doesn't. They have Jimmy Dimmick as well. It would be great to get one over Jimmy again. Yeah, don't forget, guys. Like, the reason he left us because he didn't get the promotion he was after, and said, "That's it. I'm out of here." So he left and didn't want to stay and hang around. But that's what happens.
It doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So yeah, love.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
just like he did when he left us and went to the Eels, guys. I don't know, just saying. Didn't look. He's got form, guys. He's got form.
Super League versus ARL.
That's all right.
The money
mate,
was offered to leave.
That's right. I know what you were doing now, mate. You were getting us ready for a spin, mate. Come on, get your money together, buddy.
Oh fuck!
Let's announce a winner, mate. Come on.
What's going on in? What is going on in the Origin game? Origin's tomorrow, guys.
There's a lot happening tomorrow, guys. A lot happening. I mean, for those who like watching sport, I mean, it's there's an interesting World Cup game for the women as well in the cricket, starting at 7:30, and also the men start at 6 o'clock in their T20 against Bangladesh. So if you watch sport and you like sport, there's plenty to keep you entertained till the 8 o'clock kickoff for the Blues. So go the Blues, go the Blues, go the Blues.
All right, so we've got James T. We've got Brian B. Now, Brian's also put in both weeks, so he gets another 2. We've got Tony. We put in 2 last week. Tony and Tonu.
Tedesco versus Ponga, To'o, Cooler and Staggs and Marky Mark against Selwyn Cobbo, Robert Toya, Hamasai, Tabulai Fido, and Jojo Fafita. Mitchell Moses is back. He's got a good record with the Blues, guys. So up against Mr. Munster, Nathan Cleary and Sam Walker. So Cleary would absolutely love to back up that last game and win the series and shut a lot of people up, guys. As much as you hate to think it, it's there. Payne Haas is back. I know his record hasn't been great this year when he has played, but he's back. Thomas Flegler against him, Reece Robson and Harry Grant. Mitch Barnett still been playing strong. Tino has unfortunately lost his father to cancer this week. So best wishes to Tino. Hope he plays well, but not enough for a team victory. Hudson Young and Brendan Nikora. Dylan Lucas promoted to the starting side. Kurt Capewell, and a lot of talk about Isaiah Yao and whether he should start, and people talking about Cameron Murray starting.
I'd bring Barnett off the bench and put Isaiah Yao to prop
in the front row. Yeah, that's still an option.
Start Murray.
Still an option. Both teams have a pretty solid bench. So Cameron Murray, Victor Radley, Aiden Fanua. I love playing Origin in my dreams of Blake. Appy Coruscant, Ethan Strange, and Jack Bostock has moved in after the injury to Casey McLean. Yep. Max Plath, Lindsay Collins, Finawaki, Trent Liero, Reece Walsh is back with his toilet in tow and his nail polish, and Murray Tuolagi. The additional reserves, guys, Hamoli and a player that I felt could have potentially made the team, Helam Lukey. He's been playing well. He's a good try-scoring back rower out there as well. So 2 evenly matched teams, guys. Not sure if there's any favourites in there. In whichever way you look at it, I think it will be all up to the start, guys. If the Blues don't get their problems fixed like they have in the last 3 games where they've missed the start, I can't see them making up the ground this time. But if they get off to a good start and hold their nerve, I feel like we can wrap up the series, guys. It's going to be our best chance. You don't want to leave it to Suncorp in the third game, guys. This is going to be the best chance for us to wrap up the series. So, yeah, absolutely looking forward to that tomorrow, guys. Brian feels like there could be a Queensland domination going. World Cup, some interesting matches coming up, guys. There's still quite a few of the top teams that haven't played yet. So tomorrow morning we got France and Senegal. So basically the way I look at it is Senegal versus Senegal with the amount of players in the French team. We got Iraq and Norway. Lionel Messi brings out his team against Algeria for Argentina. And the last game tomorrow is Austria and Jordan. So there's still some good games to come, guys. So those games start at 5 a.m. and the last one's at 2 p.m. So plenty of sport for those who have got the day off and want to watch some sport, or just at work, plug it in your ear, put it on your phone, etc. SBS On Demand does a great job for the World Cup. Apparently Strange is going to be used as a back rower. That has been the talk. It's an option. Hoping for a blue wash, yes. Never been able to get into the cricket. One of my best mates is a made cricketer, but it bores me. Unfortunately, if you're like me and you're into your sports, I'll even watch the darts and I'll watch a lot of stuff. It just makes time go. Cricket, but I actually would rather watch a 5-day test match than some of the shorter formats. Mitch to get us home, 17-16. Current to start 100%. Thank you, Pete. What about golf, Scary? Do you like golf? Yeah, love my golf. That's my weekend vibe, boys and girls. Did anyone see that nice Princess Walsh hey-ho video this week? Yeah, mate. I feel like I'm in prison today, mate. Yeah, it's right. I'm behind bars today, unfortunately. I didn't want to restart the computer in case I lost everything earlier, so I just left it. Sometimes they come, sometimes they go, these lines. But yes, mate, I'm behind bars today, locked up. The crowd will definitely be against us in Melbourne. Yeah, they'll just support a good team. More than likely, Timmy. More than likely. Don't mind watching a bit of golf. Well, this week is a major week, guys. So the US Open for those golf lovers as well. So there's a lot happening this week. So we'll have the golf Friday morning, Saturday morning, while the Aussies are playing on Saturday morning. So plenty to come, guys. Ronaldo for Portugal. That'll be the following day, Timmy. So Portugal play Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia, England and Croatia are still to come, and Ghana and Panama. So there's still quite a few teams that haven't played for the next 2 days before we start getting into the second round matches, guys. Hines is keen to watch Nico Mealy score another 4 tries. He's the future of our club.
Hines, he loves the reserve graders. He loves them.
Yeah, I know, mate. When you win, was it 66-4 or 68-4? Yeah, it's all rosy posy against a team that was decimated.
Nick was playing fullback in the Queensland Cup for a few years.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if his ceiling's that high, but who's to say it's not?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think personally he's the future of our club, but
he's a big effort player. He's a big effort player, like we said in the grand final. Like he played last year in the game leading up to the Storm and the Broncos. He was in the game before that for the Bears. But
I will say, last week we had a nice comment to start about Broden Cons.
It's his son, Scary. It's his son. Yes, he is related, mate.
Yeah. So we had a nice comment about Broden Cons from someone watching. And he basically said he agreed that it's probably not about as far as him being top 30, and that's probably not his time and stuff. Or he was saying something. I said, yeah, he's not. They're saying he's getting offers for elsewhere, and I sort of said he's not top 30 because I didn't realise the person was following him that a lot. Because there's people who watched him play last week against the Eels where he did that charge down and had a good game, and sort of was glazing him like he's going to be a big NRL first grader. And honestly, I didn't know much about him until he sort of made his debut out of the blue at the start of the season in Cup, and he was playing Massey. Anyway, he sort of got a bit angry because I didn't realise they knew a lot about the player, and started saying a lot of stuff. But basically, apparently he might be on the move, from what I've gathered, and going to another club. And getting an offer, maybe top 30 or another New South Wales Cup contract, maybe on more money or something.
He was only on a 1-year deal, trainer trial, so good luck to him if he's done that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably a timing thing. We've just got other kids that are prioritised at the moment. But then they sort of started going on, basically just saying there's crap going on at our club and rah, rah, rah. It's like you go from saying nice stuff, and then because you thought I was dissing Broden by saying he wasn't top 30, I wasn't having a crack at him. I was more having just wrongly assumed that the person thought he was top 30 in our system already. And I was just pointing out that he wasn't. Yeah. But look, I'd love to know the Broden story. If anyone knows more about Broden Cons and his story, apparently he's had a lot to overcome. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I would love to know about it and share that story if anyone does know. Happy to help. Pete's off.
Yeah. See you, Pete. Have a good one, mate.
See you, buddy. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Victoria take New South Wales and Queensland because they want to have their own state of origin. Yeah, mate. It is that way. And what do? We go and put a game in their backyard. That's how good we are. Go to the NRL. That's all right, Matt. I hate Victoria just as much, if not more, than Queenslanders.
Someone said we need to get rid of Leo Thompson.
Only three likes. People hit that like button. That's it, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Thanks, Maddie.
I think that's on the Facebook. But smash the likes on the YouTube, guys.
YouTube, guys. Tube it.
YouTube. So let's line up. I'm just going to have a look at Leo Thompson's stats at the Bulldogs since he got here. How about that?
Player that no one's mentioned, guys, for a while is Finau Latu. So he was one that during the off-season, a lot of people were talking about even potentially coming into 13 and everything, but he had obviously a disrupted start to the season with his injury, but he hasn't sort of put himself in any of the 23 lineups yet this year. So still a little bit off the mark, getting himself back to where he needs to be. But he could be a player that, if it doesn't happen later this year, with a good off-season as well, comes into some reckoning next year, guys. Someone that will, start to feature and maybe one of those players that might force a Kurt Mann out of the team potentially, etc.
Finau Latu.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, he's made that transition out of New South Wales Cup. He's on the bench in Cup, and that's where he's staying now, I would suggest, unless they, maybe depends what's happening with finals and with the first grade side and all that. But I think he'll be getting close to a start at least by the end of the year.
Yep.
I was just going through Thompson's stats. So I know he's only had 8 games with the Bulldogs, and he was coming off some injuries and stuff, but he's already. He's 95% tackle efficiency, which is where he's at. He's 116 meters per game, which is his previous best to that was 104. He's averaging more fantasy points than ever. He's already had 9 offloads, which puts him on target to get more than he got last year, way more. And his tackle breaks are up. His effort stats are up. He's only had 3 tries in his career. He had to have one with the Dogs. He's on track. He's doing well. He's getting better every week. And be keen to see how Maxi King's looking as well. But in this, with the just what I'm going to say on the Origin side, I think it's got a better balance with it. I think Kohler playing centre. Joby was talking about this on the phone yesterday, and I have to agree with him. Kohler at centre is better than on the wing, but I still think there's going to be some things that New South Wales need to deal with defensively if they're going to win this match. And they could hopefully don't find themselves behind again. And before I go any further and get into this spin the wheel, I talked a lot about Ashley Klein. It'll be on record over the last 4 or 5 years where I've said numerous times that I felt Ashley Klein. And look, I don't believe, at the end of the day, I never believed he was a corrupt ref. But I always felt that I'd never seen a ref that had, before these momentum swings were happening more and more and more in games in the NRL, I'd never seen a ref have so many, teams that had won the first half and lost the second half so convincingly, or so many momentum swings in matches than Ashley Klein games. It come from watching him Bulldogs versus Canberra. I think there was 2 games he refed in a row years ago, and the way those games just changed complexion. Games we won as well, where we were behind the 8 ball, not getting a penalty to getting them all, and it's more than just a. I just found those games to be officiated so bipolar in the way that they were approached at different points. It's like, and I always said Ashley Klein it never favours one team over the other, because things can change from one match to the next or from one half to the next. Is that because he's a good ref? I don't know. I think he's always had a lot of detractors. I think he's had a lot of detractors his whole career. And knowing what the gambling bug can do to people, I don't think he was doing stuff on rugby league games. I really don't. I just, but it happens though. We know that Darcy Law, Arthur Summons, and to the day he died, telling people what that Darcy Law, they come in at half time and says, doesn't matter, we're going to lose the game, we can't win. Darcy's taking the money. St George are winning today no matter what, and that's what happened, Lots of stories back in the day. Like, people do get corrupted. People do make mistakes. Ryan Tandy took that bet. He's no longer with us anymore. But there's all that money that the Cowboys were going to score first off a kick. They had the kick from in front, didn't take the kick and went and scored the try. So the bet didn't even pay off. But he was behind that. Gambling, the more gambling is involved in rugby league, the more risk there is that someone's going to get compromised by greed. It's usually not elite players. It's usually not elite referees. And the reason is because they've got less to sort of lose. Well, they've got more to lose, I should say. But yeah, people must be aware that there's always a chance for these things to happen. It's just life. And I'm just saying, because people might have remembered that I've said a lot about Ashley Klein over the years without that knowledge. But basically what I'm saying is that I don't believe he's cheated on rugby league, in spite of what I've felt to be incompetent calls or complete momentum shifts in games that made me question that at the time. So I just want to be on the record to say I don't think he's actually a cheat. But I can understand people saying don't let him ref and having a problem with it, because if you're allowing yourself to get that far in debt, it's an easy thing to happen, and happens to all the best of people, you know. It is a poor thing on your character, and you're in a position where you have to adjudicate things fairly. And if you got questions on your character, well, no one's going to trust you. So I just think I just don't think it's a tenable situation, if that's the right word, moving forward. I think it's just going to think if something happens and he does howlers and stuff, it's just going to be the default position that people take.
And it's like everything else, Michael.
And he
like
could put him into actual danger.
It's like everything else. I mean, people can still go around now talking about Bronson Cherry as a drug cheat. You know, he's done his time. He's done his redemption. He's back, you know, putting his hard work in and doing what he has to do. But people can still go out there and say, oh, yeah, he had a good game. He's probably on the juice, and whatever else they want to say. These things, when you
that's a bit different. That's a bit different though. When people have got money riding on these fucking games, and then you get.
But what I'm saying, I'm talking about redemption. I'm talking about people making mistakes in life and having redemption. That's what I'm talking about. I understand it's gambling, and I'm a person I haven't gambled $1 in my life, so I can't understand. But I know that it's like everything else. It's probably contagious and it's addictive and whatever. And I'm sure, you know, I've never had a gambling site. I've never done any of that stuff. You know, that's my choice. But all I'm saying is, it's like you have something in your life that you're passionate about, or whatever it is, or something that you do, and you know it's wrong. You stop it. You get out of your life. You seek help. And all I'm saying is that some people sometimes needed to get that out of their system to move on. It's like people who smoke or whatever it is that people do that they don't want to do. Sometimes you need to put your hand up, get some assistance, and move on. I'm looking at, if the NRL, in all their might and power, investigated this to the way that they would have done it over the last, you know, this is not something that's come out now three weeks ago. This is something that happened 6 or 7 years ago. If they've investigated and done what they had to do. No, I'm not saying it's come out. I'm saying this, if they've done their investigation when they did find out, they knew about this a long time ago. And they investigated back then, they did what they had to do, and they said that it wasn't something that was an issue for them, and otherwise he would have been out of the game a long time ago if there was an issue. So, you know,
I 100% agree with, as a person, the redemption story and all that sort of stuff. 100% agree with all that. People should be given a second chance, and look, and I think that'd be 100% right. This is a different scenario, though.
It just makes it hard for him to be trusted now. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you can throw it away with Cherry and say, you know, because once a drug cheater, always a drug cheat. You can't change. Once a cheater, always a cheater, right?
I'm talking about more from a mistake.
Ashley's not cheating. Ashley's not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm just going to finalise this point that I can't see it being a future where he can continue to ref, because, you know, Leaguey was talking about a ref's going to get attacked one day or whatever, because, you know, when we have petitions from the Courier Mail to have him sacked from game 2. It's like, well, you can have him sacked, but the likelihood is that he's going to give Queensland an 8-0 penalty account. And people have been saying that Ashley Klein referees game 2 for the team that lost game 1 every year anyway. And it's gone that way. It's gone that way with script. Game 1 is, in most years, has had a different result to game 2, right? And it hasn't been gone from New South Wales to Queensland. It's always had like a neutral game in the middle, or a neutral game at the start. So these things line up for people, and that's all people need. Okay, he's sitting there, but they weren't saying it was because of gambling. They were saying it because the NRL wants a game 3. So they've actually, people have been saying the NRL's corrupt.
Yeah.
And Peter Volandi's because he works in gambling, in the gambling industry. He's always going to have that tarnish. And you just have to see the way the journos, how they carried on when Abdo announced he was going to retire. With all the shit that's been going on about the game and how the rules are pathetic and how everyone's sick of all the changes, those journos sat there as if and they'd been complaining about these rules too, but then sat there and got on their hands and knees and moved their heads forward and back into his lap. Like, it was disgraceful the way they all acted.
Lauding him. Yep, that's right.
They were sitting there like all with their mouth open, saying, "Give me some." Like little baby birds waiting for mum to bring back the food. Probably a better analogy, right? There's something wrong there. And I'm not trying to create drama where there isn't none. I'm just saying there's something wrong there when they're doing that. That's just blatantly ridiculous. And then when this story comes out years later, for them to still allow him to do Origin 2, I just think there is an issue where someone's going to lose, gamble responsibly, but someone's going to lose some money. The wrong person's going to lose some money, and they're going to line this up, and they're not going to be able to let it go. And they're going to think that Ashley or someone has changed the result for gambling purposes.
It doesn't take much for people to blame someone else, and this is now the flame. This is the fuse that's going to ignite. That's it. You know, anytime you bring money into it, you're going to have these issues. And since the 80s, early 80s, when they started doing the betting on the game, it changed the integrity of the game, guys. So, and a lot of good people sort of walked away from it because of that. And you've always got that skeptical mind whenever you see it, irrespective of what Ashley Klein's done or not. You've always got that. This is rigged. This just, you know. It's always
betting will happen. Betting will happen whether there's easy access for fans to bet or not. It's always has happened in Australia. The problem with this is that he was in debt to the total to $400,000. And people have had an issue with him in the past, thinking that there's something wrong there. And then we've seen all these Origin games the way they go. Like, I'm just saying, there's so many things line up for people when they lose. You know, everyone tells you about how it lines up when they win, but when they lose, they can draw lines to anything. Well, some of these lines are. It's like Marnie and Toby in the team when we're winning, and they come out and we're losing. It's very easy for people to sum that up. And look how every single week we lose, that gets mentioned. No one moves forward from it.
Yep.
I can't see anyone moving forward from this.
They're locked in a time warp, mate. But yeah, I know what you mean.
I think we're going to be locked in a time warp with Ashley Klein.
Yeah.
I never want to mention it. I never want to mention it again. But
it's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a hard one to get out of, mate. It's going to be a hard one to get out of. I can't see him coming back from this yet.
I feel sorry for Tino because I know that Tino was never ever leaving the Titans because of his connections to family and all that sort of stuff. And you know, are the gods going to align for Queensland again with that? We had Munster's old man died last year.
Game 3,
Game 3 on the decider. I always felt from that point. Look, I feel sort of bad saying this, but it's just how I felt. I'm just saying how I felt. I felt New South Wales was never going to win from that point. I just didn't think that. I thought that if there was some sort of God, football God, as there is, it'd be on Queensland's side. And they definitely outplayed the Blues in that match and deserved to win. So it's game 2 this time. I think it's going to be a really good game tomorrow night. I really do. I think, and I hope Ashley stays out of it. I hope he just lets it go and lets them play a typical State of Origin match. Queensland forwards working their ass off, kick chase, doing their jobs, doing their roles. New South Wales going out there, not dropping the ball, playing with the swagger that they've got, and the two Titans colliding, and we don't know who's going to win until the 80th minute again. That'd be quite nice, and hopefully not with the. But as Gus said at the start of this, do you think Queensland would have cared? Do you think Queensland would have, just say they win that second game in 2024 after Suaalii was sent off in the first game? Do you think they would have felt hollow about the victory had they won the series 2-0? 100% they wouldn't have. They would have been gloating, bad losers but worse winners, Queenslanders.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whereas New South Wales, at least a lot of us felt a little bit hollow about it. But that's the difference. They don't feel hollow about it. Queensland won. That's all that matters.
Let's continue through some of these. Corey Ackers, how's he going? And the other young prop we signed from the Dragons.
Yes, I think he's playing flag this week, Corey Ackers. Would that be right in the draw?
Thanks, Brian. That's it, guys. Hit that like button. He hits it every week. Thompson's been going well. I think his best is still to come. He's finding his feet still. Yeah. I think Fino has struggled with his consistency, but with more minutes under his belt in Cup, he will eventually get a chance. That's right, Timmy. Last game was Thompson's best game so far. He's getting better. All right, that's right. He's improving week on week. That's right, Leo. Thank you, Timmy. Tough games ahead for us to make the 8. I believe our team can do this and win more games. Up the doggies. Much love to you and this channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, JP.
Who's that from?
JP. Oni.
Thank you.
J-Pony. I cannot stand Ashley Klein. Bad news, boys. Ashley Klein's son will be an NRL ref in about 3 years. Yes, guys. I was there.
He's not too bad, eh, guys? He goes all right.
I was there for the Bulldogs round 1 game, New South Wales Cup, against the Dragons on the 7th of March. And Ashley Klein's son refereed that game, the game that AJ hit Cade Reed and knocked him out. The Dragons won that game 14-10, unfortunately, but Ashley Klein was sitting just to my left the whole time, sitting on his phone as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What was he doing the whole time? He was on his phone watching the fucking races, probably.
On his phone, guys. I will admit he was on his phone. His son was refereeing, and he did occasionally glance up. But funny enough, I did have a quick word to him, and I said to him, it's just interesting when you referee. I said, a lot of games swing both ways very fast. I didn't think he got what I was trying to tell him, but I did ask him.
He's like, do you know about my gambling problem?
There are no good refs. There are just some that I don't hate as much. Yes, that's right. Nathan Highmarsh came out and said he had a gambling problem at one point post-football career. That's right. As John Laws used to say, if money is involved, there will always be a chance of corruption.
Corey Ackers is playing Ron Massey this week off the bench.
There you go. Can't outright accuse him of being corrupt, but some of his decisions seem to be beyond belief. Yep, that's right. And look, guys, you know what? My only worry is that some NRL player being reffed on the field inadvertently blurts something back at him to that effect, and gets in trouble for it. That could be a problem where a player, without wanting to, turns around.
How much you got on the Bulldogs today, Ashley?
Yeah, just something, guys, like that is going to be a worry. Hi, guys. God. David Schwartz is here. I'm also over the salmon bagging. If we make a grand final and he is still at the club, he would play his absolute guts out and be the Clive Churchill winner. There you go.
There you go, brother.
Timmy says it's addictive. 100% agree. 100% right, Dave. If he does a howler call, the fans will tear him a new one. Yes, James, I agree. Admitting you have an addiction is the first step to breaking its hold on you. So,
100%, Matty. 100%.
That's sort of what I was trying to get to, guys.
Yeah, 100. I got that, guys. So I'm just worried about.
Yeah, I know. It's going to happen, mate.
It's going to be
the
a
backlash is going to happen. It's going to happen, mate. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Especially now with this social media, anybody can just grab anything they want and bang, post whatever they want in 2 seconds, and then it becomes a story as usual. And they'll say, "Oh, the fan backlash and all this crap." It's just the usual. I'm also sick. I'm so over the salmon bagging. That's got that one. Yep. Smash that like button, people. Heaps of people commenting. Hit that button. Heaps.
That's it, brothers.
That help the boys out. That's it, guys. Trent from Punchy. Realistically, he shouldn't be reffing big games. To be honest with you, how do you dictate any game? Big game doesn't matter. If he's got a ref, he's got a ref. He's not got a ref, he doesn't ref. That's how it is. I don't think it should be big game, little game. Origin game.
But some people do reserve grade games and stuff
there you
as
go.
well.
If he's admitted to a gambling problem, it means that he can be bought. In the words of Big Bang, that's your opinion. Conflict of interest to sport, yes. They need to bring back the badge. No, mate, Badger happily retired, mate. Working in the different NRL.
He means Casey.
Oh, Casey. Oh, the wife. Mr. Start. Oh, sorry, buddy. Look, always good news is you can listen to it again tomorrow or even later today to go to sleep.
There you go. Lads. No, he means lads. There we go.
Yeah.
Michael.
Hey, you're late as well, buddy. Just in time for the draw, mate. Come on, throw some money, mate. You never know. You might be a last-minute winner again.
$5.
$5 is the minimum, guys. $5.
Or Dogfather or above, get a free ticket into the draw.
I don't know if anyone watched 100% footy last night. I like when Bracey asked Gus for his score prediction. Don't leave us hanging. Don't leave us hanging, Timmy. What happened? Can't hang around. Glad I found this channel. What is your schedule weekly? Two things. Every Tuesday night, we do the one podcast. So that usually is sometimes 7:30 or 8 o'clock start, thereabouts, every Tuesday. And usually we will do a review, generally the day after a game. So potentially the Sunday night might be a review night, guys, after the Saturday game. So we've been doing that a lot lately. So that's the schedule. But make sure you like and subscribe, and you'll actually get the notifications that come out and let you know that we're on as well. So happy for you to join. Up the berries. Thank you, champion. Brian, the thing I worry about Klein is that he's got Worston Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing I don't agree with if it was so long ago, why has it come out now? Does Creepy Crawley not like him now? That's right. All right, mate. How are we looking for the draw?
Nearly there.
Mike would put money in, but on my way home from the gym today, I tripped and my phone fell face flat on concrete. It doesn't work, so I'm getting it repaired. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Alrighty then. Got all our Dogfather members and cartel members in. Pardon me. There we go. Got our first subscriber on Facebook as well.
Yes, Timmy, I will be going for a stroll, Timmy.
I might go for one. No, I already went for 10K. I've done 14,000 steps today.
You're already done, mate.
I'm done. I can't do anymore.
I'm heading up.
All right, let's get this up.
Nice fresh air out there.
So our report card for the boys is we're a C. And we're a C average with some B's, a couple of A's, a couple of D's, and a couple of E's, which brings us down to a C. Get this drum roll happening, eh?
Yeah.
Can we see it up there? Let's make it a little bit bigger.
Shrink us. Turn
the comments off. Thank you, everyone who's been in the draw. I don't even know what the winning prize is yet, but there is a prize. Let's go.
Ashley Klein spinning the wheel. Oh, it's scary.
Well done. Good job,
Well
you
done.
mate. Cartel member.
There you go.
Now he's already getting a shirt, and another pack's coming out. So we'll have to send out a voucher as well.
There you go.
$40 voucher for Scary 79, Sean. Well done, Sean. And thank you,
Good
everyone.
job. Thank you, everyone. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot for your support.
Thank you so much. Ongoing support. Really big help for us. Helps us keep doing what we're doing. So in the draw today, we had Brian, obviously, Tony, Scary, James Teasdale. We had David Mead, Brad, Graham, Champion Mike, Michael Hawkes, as in Bulldog Mike, Peter Webber, and quite a few others. Lucas, Rhett, and Tony. And that's it.
Thanks for the well wishes, guys.
Thank you so much.
Great team effort, gentlemen and ladies. Great team effort.
Beautiful stuff. All right. Well, go New South Wales. I think the Blues wrap up the series in spite of the penalty count and the money that Ashley's got on the Maroons to win. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Go to Blues.
That's it, guys.
That's it. So the Blues to win by 24 points to 6. They're not going to get it. Can't have 5 games in a row where Queensland get a 20-point lead. Like, that'd be ridiculous.
No, this is support. This is support, Mike. Not a gambling problem spinning this wheel, mate. Just support for the team.
Are we promoting it? Yeah.
24-12.
We don't have to do the spin the wheel. When we put up the jerseys and that's different. The spin the wheel, it's like people giving us money, and we just decided we'll do a wheel spin for those that do it. And then I decided that people are paying the extra for the dog father, they probably should get a ticket in it. So it's just sort of evolved a little bit. Just want to give back. Yeah. At the end of the day, we still end up with about the same left over, which is good.
That's it, guys.
I know, Mike. I think it's a good thing to say, just to give us the opportunity to say, look, it's not about the money, guys. If it becomes about the money, someone needs to tell us. It's not about the money.
Mike's just complaining because he pulled a short straw, and unfortunately he had to meet me when I presented him with his prize. It's all good, mate. Tough, mate. It's all right, buddy.
You imagine having this bloke ring you every day.
Works both ways, buddy.
All right, time to listen to the song, people, and we're going to have a new song out for you. Dave did a really funny one, actually. Instead of calling you Gas, he called you the other bloke. Just highlighting that it's the dog father,
That's right, mate.
Doesn't matter who the other bloke is.
It's okay. I know my place in society. It's all good.
Mate, I love you.
That's why my surname starts with Z, mate. Down the back, mate. It's all good. I know where I'm at.
Yeah, Matty's been waiting to hear this song for a little while, guys. So let's tune in. I might even listen to it for the full 2 minutes.
Whoa!
Let's do it. Go the Dogs.
Bulldogs.